Some of this rally make my blood pressure go up.
So you should get a filter sometimes. Filter your thoughts before you say.
I'll continue to take blood pressure medication.
Why are you getting high blood pressure, Jonathan? Now,
I'm not taking medication for myself. I'm taking it for people like Paul and some of you guys that after the January, February something, and then people like Soludo that is a good spoiler. I thank God for his life. He's working for my.
And I am ready to die defending Nigeria in whatever way. When it is God's time for us to go, it is
you took my time to God. You are ready to defend Nigeria. I gave you my time.
No, I'm coming.
Alexi, hold on. You already started.
What I'm saying, defending Nigerians is this.
I gave him my time and he's using it to defend
No, sorry. I'm sorry.
I hope that Nigeria wins. I'm never going to wish any president evil so that I can say I told you so. No, I won't wish them evil. I hope. You see, I'm not praying. There's no point. I can't pray for Nigeria to be fine. I only hope that Nigeria wins and Nigerians win. Because if you choose a dodgy doctor who has a dodgy record, who has, all sort of accusations leveled against him, to say this doctor, we think he's done this, or this doctor, this surgeon. Yes, he's a senior surgeon, he's the most whatever surgeon, but there are a lot of accusations leveled against him. If you choose him to operate on you, and you tell me to pray for you that it doesn't kill you surgery, what's the point? I can't pray. You might make it, you might not make it. My prayer won't change anything. So I hope Nigeria and Nigerians win during Tinubu's 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you.
Uncle, right? I have the right to address you already the way I like. You don't know what she already did to me. So learn to control your emotion, right? That's the only thing I'm going to tell you. But if you don't want to control your emotion and you insult me here, I'm going to insult you 100%.
Okay.
You understand? You cannot insult me on a normal ground. Physically, you can't insult me, right? I will treat you like a child. If you insult me physically, I will handle you like a child. I don't care your age. You understand? You are powerful over the camera, so you can say whatever you want to say, but you can't yet say it to me physically. You understand? I will handle you like a kid. I'm not joking. So learn to control your emotion. You understand?
Okay.
Please don't take him out. I also have a right to respond because he mentioned my name. There's no need to take him out. All you have to do is to meet them or something. And you're taking too long to manage them.
Comment.
What did you say?
Comment.
I know, but he mentioned my name, so I'm asking to respond to him.
When he gets your time, you
No. He mentioned my name.
If you want to make it rowdy, I will take you out.
Take me out, you son of a bitch. Take me out. You think you're a big boy because you're moderating.
Take him out, please.
Hello, come on. Don't use such word now.
Don't forget, that state is now an oil-producing state. So they now have derivation, if you are not aware. So if you want to speak for anybody, please do not defend a character like Yabelo. Please do not.
Okay, let me respond to him. 1 second.
Do not defend a character like Yabelo. Do not.
All right, thank you, Mohammed.
The people of that state.
Can I respond to him?
No.
Then go to hell. Rudolph, go to hell.
All right.
Rudolph, I've never seen this part of him before. Tinubu is a criminal, yes, of course, a categorical grade 1 criminal. The only person more criminal than Tinubu in Nigeria is probably Babangida. But he's a criminal. And is he fit for purpose? Absolutely not. Should Tinubu be the president of Nigeria? Categorical no. Is there a better option than him? That is subjective. So show me who he is.
1,911,844,833 naira and 46. I'll take that again. 1,911,844,000,000. 1 trillion. This money is too much for me. 1 trillion. I hope that is not on the record. 1 trillion 911 billion 840.
Hello everyone, it's good to have you back again. Today we are having back to back, as you say, started with Rudolph at 11 o'clock today, and we're still running and we're still going to be here, and hopefully Mr. Forefather will eventually, take it to the max. I don't know, but we are back again to continue where we stopped, or where Rudolph stopped some few minutes ago. And we are going to take matters arising from the last, two guests we have today, the chief and of course the professor, who both guests were able to distinguish themselves. In fact, I love the chief. The chief is a very noble, very, very noble and well informed individual. In fact, I will get his book because I want to read more. And also the professor. The professor is someone who, like I said, if I was in Germany, every evening that would be the place I will go to, because knowledge is power. The knowledge that you have gives you an access to many, many places. So that's why when we come to this place, we do not only come to learn from one another. We come because we know that people here will eventually give us or cause us to have a reason to go back and research and read more. And the more we read, the better we become, more informed, more educative, and more useful to our society. That's all that we're aiming to do. We're not going to turn to a pressure group. We're not going to turn to a political party. We're not going to turn to, maybe arms of another, indigenous people, or whether Yoruba, Igbo, or Hausa. We're only going to be people who are organizing a talk shop. And as you come, you bring your idea. Someone out there who has the ability will put it to use. And so today was quite impressive and quite enlightening for those who want to take ideas and run with it, especially the southern eastern governors who become emperors as soon as they are elected. There's so much to take away from today's broadcast. How you can help your people to become self-reliant other than relying on the federal government. Even though I have my problem with that. And I will hold my shield, because I don't know why the eastern governors and the eastern states will be the ones to use their own federal resources given to them to make development, while the federal government develop other parts of the country. That is a bit worrisome to me, because if you are a watcher of Nigerian politics, you find out that the money that goes to the 5 eastern states, okay, let us include, because someone put in the comment section, Delta is also part of the Igbo state. So if you put the 6 Igbo states now, including Delta, the money going to the 5 eastern states is just the one that go to the northeast, just the northeast alone. The northeast alone of Nigeria gets the revenue that goes to the 5 eastern states. And I think that is very, very unfair. Having said that, that's the reason why federal projects should equally be made to get to the southeast. We are part of Nigeria. However, if Nigeria choose not to, because right now, as Abikadabri have said, and many other speakers, Igbos are the problem of Nigeria. I pray that the Nigerians will get up one day and say, just like they give away Bakassi, and say to the Igbos, you can now go because we have discovered you are the problem of Nigeria. And that will be a day of rejoicing, as the Bob Marley and the Willa would say, this is the day of rejoicing. Nati. Okay, let me not go there because before Ovie, I think I'm a member of his community. All right, you're welcome, Mr. Okpabilo, and of course, my brother Ike and Oti. These are gentlemen that their ideas are always cracking me up, and I know that you also watching from home will also enjoy their arguments. Whether you like them or not, they come with a very rich information for you to dwell on. Chew it on. Don't just jump at every opportunity to want to counter what they're saying. Chew what they're saying. Think about it. Process it. You find out there's something always there for you to learn. And so I welcome you, gentlemen, and I will go straight into the discussion with you. You can take on the chief if you have something to say about his presentation, or you can take on the professor. So we go that way. I'd like to also thank Adama, who has always stepped behind the scene to help control those on the keyboard. Thank you also for all those who are on the keyboard. I will eventually get you. If you have an opportunity, please come on board and let us judge you. Yes, Okpabilo, what do you have to say?
To say that we don't want you in our community. You can go after your Biafran, but we want Oti. Oti will stay with us in Nigeria, so gradually we indoctrinate him. And Mr. Ike has decided to abandon us.
Sure.
Mr. Ike has found out that the future of Nigeria belongs to Igbo smokers and Yan shakers. He decided to say, you know what, I can't deal with this. You just decide to leave us alone. It's okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm not forgetting our two guests. Now we get to this.
Yeah, two guests.
I mean, they spoke well. I can't disagree with whatever their perspective. I see where they are coming from. They seems to. I mean, the chief seems to. Well, I'm not surprised that he know a lot. It's part and parcel of the process from as an international student and practice. So he knows a lot, and I can tell underneath everything he's saying, he's being cautious of the position he occupy and the class he belongs to. So, but yeah, he navigates the questions very, very intelligently. So I like then our doctor. I mean, doctor, you can't you can't go wrong with a doctor. I like his perspective. But one thing that actually troubled me about doctor is when Dr. Dameji asked him about how the people are complaining that the intellectuals actually don't have solution for them and they left them, they don't like them, paraphrasing here. And doctor admitted, I say yes, but it followed by saying that he doesn't know why the intelligent intellectuals class don't like the poor. He said it very casually, but that's troublesome. That's disturbing to me. Like, how you go hate person? You don't know why you hate them. That's that's I don't know. So they went over the casually, but to me, that's the problem. Then, especially when on the other hand, you are condemning people who decide to go do what they understand, right? So it's at that point I felt very, very disturbed, and it's been real. That it's not just him, but the class, the intelligence class in general. If you say you don't know why you hate people, then there's no way you can provide solution. That's what it means. So looking forward to the intelligent intellectual class to provide solutions, like will be wait forever. I mean, if that is where what they believe, you deal with people, you agree that you don't like them, but you just don't know why you don't like them. Is it that you are being, they deceive us, or that's who you are, or that's who you are? That's, I mean, I'm not talking about him directly, but those group of people. So if you let me from my own interpretation and understanding, I'll say there's no point looking to them for any solution because the poor are the majority. So if the few ones say we should be looking up to them for solution and they don't seem to even like us and they don't know why, then I don't know.
Yes, I want to agree with you, and maybe that's a question I will pose to Oti before he says what he has in mind. You, Oti, you plan intellectual.
I asked him, he laughed about it and he said, I'm not an intellectual. He said he argued that he's not among the intellectuals, although he laughed, he was saying
no,
jokingly,
we are not among. It's Oti. Oti is the one who is among those that tell us why have the intellectuals, and that's why they call them.
Why would not like us?
Why don't
sorry? By the way,
and why do you fail to give leadership? And when somebody comes from the dustbin, as people regard them, you don't want the person's idea. But the vacuum was created, and none of you ever filled it. This has been the problem with the Igbo nation. Why is it that you don't like the poor, the mechanic, those people in Ogbunwezeh market selling wares? You always pride yourself as the superior with idea, but you never provide the way forward. How come?
Right, gentlemen, everyone. First of all, I cannot own this if like title of an intellectual or describe myself as such. I have to say that from the start. But I mean, I listened to Dr. Franklyne. Perhaps I didn't get that aspect of his discussions of various referring to.
It was among the last question Dr. Damage asked you before he
maybe
brought
I
up
didn't get
the-
it, So, but I mean,
Yeah.
I doubt if he could. I mean, speak for the whole intellectual world that they don't like poor people. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know if KJ,
They were specific about Anambra. Sorry, it was specific about Anambra. That was where the question. Anambra
about
poor people
Anambra.
and them.
No,
Yeah.
okay.
You not the
Even about
governor.
Anambra,
The
I mean,
governor. I'm coming still on you, Oti. The only thing Governor Soludo could say about his opponent is that he has F9 all through.
Okay. Oh, no, hold on. Listen. But then that is a quite specific situation. I mean, and Soludo again can be, if like a paragon, an example of an intellectual, if like an intellectual probity, or kind of as an example of what an intellectual, their worldview, their comportment, their their understanding. I mean, he cannot. This is just an individual, right? And you can be intelligent, knowledgeable, without being kind of wise, and so really is. And again, your academic qualification does not erase your kind of personality defects, faults, character. So it's an individual. You have to look at him, treat him as an individual. He cannot stand in for all intellectuals, right? So really, I don't see any basis on which anybody, much less Franklyne, to be making that kind of make that kind of claim that intellectuals don't like uneducated or poor people. Are you with me? So I mean, nobody really, because he can't justify it. I can't see any basis for that, right? So that is my answer to that. And I didn't hear it. Perhaps I missed that. And okay, so now if you permit me, can I go on? I mean, maybe
Yes,
really
yes,
what I want to talk about.
Go ahead.
Right. So I'm not talking about Franklyne because yes, others with I'm sure you guys will dwell quite at length on his presentation. Okay, what I want to talk about is the chief, because the reason is this. Okay, look, I happen to be a new member of cabinet, U.S. cabinet in my hometown. Okay, so not that I don't have anything against the chieftaincy, traditional rulership, at least in as far as insofar as it obtains in Igbo land. Okay, but I find there are issues with that as far as I'm concerned. Okay, because you really have to look at things objectively. It's not just there are so many things, many aspects of it. For one thing, now, okay, this is not kind of like a defense of democracy, okay? Or I'm not an argument for democracy. But if we say we are democratic, we have at all levels, okay? Local government, state, and federal. Now you really have to struggle to find. It's not impossible, but I think it must raise quite serious questions in our minds how we reconcile the position of traditional rulers, in that scheme, right? First of all, the way they are dressed, all right? We really have to kind of, words mean something, okay? Now, somebody is a majesty, a royal majesty. Now, okay, as in a democracy, in a democratic polity setting, people are equal. There's principle of equality. That's a basic principle, okay? So, and then you have a situation where you have traditional rulers that assume or answer to this description, their majesties, royal highness. Okay, so how does that fit in? And then you also, because that is also related to this anomaly, is an anomaly where every community in Igbo land now becomes is described as an ancient kingdom. Okay, and then you ask yourself, the Igbos, Igbo land, the Igbo nation has from time immemorial been known to be Republican, right? So there's no superiority of every man is as good as the other. It's not. You can when you achieve something, you can be recognized, right? And it's not something you pass on to your children. So now suddenly we have this situation, because it's something modern. I know growing up when a man was made a chief in my hometown for the first time, right? So as growing up as a person, so he became an Igwe. So before that, we didn't have that. What we had an Obi, but essentially not having much power, really. So we had an Obi. Then suddenly Igwe, a new thing, because different towns were having Igwe. Okay, and is this Igwe thing now that has become His Royal Highness? Some say His Royal Majesty. How does that fit into our Igbo worldview, Igbo tradition that is notoriously or popularly known to be Republican? Okay, so it's not kind of a confusion. We've kind of found ourselves, wallowing in this confusion. There's no kind of a lack of understanding where we're coming from and where we're going. So, and also, so a kingdom, in the ancient kingdom, we know what a kingdom is. Or are we just using words without knowing or paying serious attention to their meanings? Okay. Okay. So we have, and then again, what position do they actually occupy? What role do they play? How are they helpful as an institution? Now we have all this, the instability, the security everywhere. And they're supposed to be close to the people. They're supposed to know their people. Okay, at least in their domain, the chief that came, or the Igwe, no, he should practically know at least. Okay, all the various like kindred, not individuals, but at least different. How we have Omonna, okay, they have the villages, and then you have the so he should be familiar with all these people. So they should know people coming in and going out of Inobe if they are really close to the people, and that's the only way they justify their existence. That because are you with me? So I find this is something really we have to have as a people, as a state. It's something we need to have much more serious discussion about.
I agree with you. I agree with you. We will stay on this, what you have said, and when everybody have made their own opening, we'll come back to it, because from the back door, Eze, seem to be creeping into the Igbo society, I'm from a community that calls or prides itself as an autonomous community. Yeah. So in autonomous community, and that's how every village almost is autonomous from the other one. And so, but we'll come back to that. It's very important that we interrogate that information. The flagship, my brother and friend, you have asked me a very interesting question. The reason why I'm reading out your question is because you are supposed to be on this panel. So come up and then let us talk. You come up when you come on, when you sign up, ask me that question and I'll answer it right on camera for you. Let's move on. Yeah, Mr. Ike, go ahead. You were here throughout, and I see you also enjoyed all the discussion. Whichever way you decide to weigh in, please go ahead and weigh in.
Let me start with the issue of the Eze that came. I think it was because of lack of time. He was not able to really answer my question, because my question was based on the what is the prevailing reality in Eastern Nigeria is that the traditional rulers has become a pawn in the hands of politicians and the governors of Eastern Nigeria, and they have lost their their institutional and traditional respect among the Igbos, because they are politicians now. If somebody like Tinubu was going to Anambra State, this governor of Anambra State went to hire traditional rulers with the red cap and Isiago, and we all of them, and they were more than 200, all in the name of playing politics. So you see all this kind of the politics that the traditional rulers are being used by the governors. So the traditional rulers has lost their respect, and also this creation of autonomous community you just brought now is one of the problems that we have in Eastern Nigeria, because almost every town want an autonomous community and they want a traditional ruler, and it becomes like the traditional institution has become politics. The governor will want to use it to campaign. After all, I gave you people autonomous community. I was the person that gave you autonomous community and gave you a traditional ruler. And it become a political, something they use for politics. And that's why we have lost the purpose and the reason of traditional institutions. These are the people before, when they speak, the community, the town, they listen. Because we believe that he holds the custodian of traditions and cultures of the people. Right? How many traditional rulers I'm referring to where I come from in the Southeast? How many traditional rulers in the Southeast has respect? Because they all have been politicized. All of them have become politicians. They don't speak. Some of them who are playing this politics, they will tell you, when you ask them certain questions, they will tell you this question is supposed to go to politicians. But when politicians give them money, they collect the money. When the politician comes, they give them chieftaincy title. And when you ask them as Igbo of a town or Eze of a town, what is going on and how we can do it, they will tell you that question is meant for politicians. So my worry in Eastern Nigeria is this issue of autonomous community that is being created everywhere. In my town where I come from, Oberu is my town in Olu local government. We have a very powerful traditional rulers before now. But the town has been divided into, I don't know how many autonomous community, and everybody is looking for, everybody want to, traditional Eze. And every time they are taxing people, bring money for this, bring money for that, bring money for this, bring money for that. I don't understand that. And at the end of the day, development is not coming to the people, because all this thing is political. Because the so-called Eze is just a governor's handbag. They are not working for the people. They are working for the governor of the state that they will use to do campaign and get vote from people. So in my place, I'm kicking against all these autonomous communities. Sometimes I tell my senior brother, if you are paying all these dues for me, you are paying it on your head, because I'm not ready to pay this nonsense money. Because I have a lot of people that I can give that money, it will be useful for them than to play the politics of autonomous community. I'm not ready for that kind of politics. If Oberu as a town is no more comfortable with their traditional, where the traditional institution started, they should look for somebody else to become the Eze of the town, not continue to create all this unnecessary artificial, or some community, autonomous communities don't even have a town hall, but they're looking for people who are going to build the house for it. If you are not ready to have a traditional, why are we worrying people? So I think like Ovie said, the Eze has, he's learned, he's wide, a scope of his knowledge, and I respect him for that. But that question he didn't answer because I think it was because of time. Dr. Damages was rushing everybody. I wanted him to admit that the traditional institutions in Nigeria have been bastardized by politicians, and most of them are pawn in the hands of politicians. So, but I wanted him to say, yes, what I said is true, but not all traditional rulers. Like he said something that I love about the people, the traditional rulers who go outside Nigeria, outside the state, to go and give somebody a traditional chieftaincy title. That he cannot do that. That is not his own kind of traditional ruler that he is. And I love that, because that is this is one of what I'm saying now, that everything is political. Look at some of the people who has traditional titles in Igbo land. Some of them are criminals. Some of them are irresponsible people. You bring money, you go to the traditional ruler, give him money. He doesn't know what you're doing. He doesn't know your sort of income. He makes you give you one chieftaincy title. People who are supposed to be wearing red cap and all this cap are supposed to be, credible people that can be able to be an example to the generations, and the youth that are following them are looking up to them. But most of them doesn't merit to be what the community try to give them. So for me personally, I'm not interested with all this title, because this title is one of the greatest problems we have in Igbo land. A boy of 20 years who did 419 in Eastern Nigeria will get 50 million naira from 419. He want to go to Eastern and give his traditional ruler 20 million, and he give him a chieftaincy title. And tomorrow that money finishes and he become a useless person in the street. So why should we spend much time in all this nonsense thing that don't help nobody? So I believe that they should go back to what the traditional institutions is. Like Brother James was saying that in Benin culture, they don't ask the Oba question, right? I mean, it is where they still have some kind of respect for the traditional institution, right? And like the Oni of Eve, and what is going on with the Oni of Eve and the other man in the Oni of Eve and the other
they're laughing.
They're laughing for before these are revered kings, but now politics has crept in everywhere, and they're trying to lose that respect and power. So for me personally, I'm happy that he was able to honor the invitation, and I think I got some lessons from his
all right.
And on Dr. Franklyne, I used to say here, some of us who don't have time to read a lot of books, who didn't go to university like my brother Ovie, who spent his time reading books and trying to know world politics, right? I am more concerned about what happened to my community where I come from, because all these big grammars we speak here doesn't affect, the sufferings of my people back home. So I only do what I think that I can use to, I contribute to things that I know that can affect the life of one person, right? So, but when we speak all this, our big grammar here, right? At the end of the day, when we speak it here, give examples of China and India and Taiwan and Japan and all those kind of countries. Where do we measure with those people? They have moved on. Like the traditional ruler said, we are like a wasted generation. Those people who got independence with us in 1960 and today is 2025, where are they and where is Nigeria? And that's $1 million question. Where is Nigeria?
If
there
you don't mind,
countries that got their independence in 1960, like Nigeria. Compare those countries with Nigeria. Where are we? So I think that he is vast as a professor or doctor or whatever. I mean, he knows everything. He knows about the politics of the world, and I give it to him, right?
All right.
People like Ovie and KJ, them who want to learn more. At my age, I am only retiring. I'm only doing that my children will continue from, some of us who were not able to go to school. but we're able to suffer to make our children to go to school. So I think that I paid my dues. I'm not looking to become professor tomorrow, but at least the little that I know, I will continue to contribute for the, for a better Nigeria. That is my point, right?
Thank you so much. Boom Boom Ray, for one, I don't know reason, but my son came in today and one of the things I say, where is Boom Boom Ray? My 10 years old son asked me, where is Boom Boom Ray? I said, why is it Boom Boom Ray want to ask of all the people that you see or you see them making comments? But Boom Boom Ray, that's to say that your contributions are also acknowledged by even the younger people, but also realize that other people also have a right to hold their view, whether you accept it or you don't. Femi, you're welcome. And I like to also come back to what Ike said later on. That is, the prof says something, and for me, who is an Igbo person, I'm concerned about the next generation. And in fact, I'm concerned about what will be Igbo land will be in the next 100 years. The question I would have loved for him to answer is, he started primary school, and I know that from primary school to secondary school, he had a lot of classmates. And some of those classmates didn't go ahead to become professors like him. Did he stop going to school or reading just because his classmates didn't want to go further to become professors? If the answer is no, then why do you want the Igbos not to? Because other injustice is also meted to other tribes. So Igbos should not ask for a separate state, because people also are suffering the same thing they are suffering. Must we continue to remain in the same situation because other people are refusing to take up the argument of saying, look, Nigeria should get better? Should there be in a nation, should there be an area that citizens cannot discuss? Because I don't see that in other nations, especially America, where we use as a bastion of democracy. Yeah, that's for me.
Oh, okay. So I specifically came here not just to even narrow it down to the Igbo question, which is very, very valid and important. I know you spoke to the fact that you wanted us to go on the route of trying to contribute to.
Yes, please go ahead. Yes, that doesn't stop. You can go ahead. You can even skip it if you don't want.
I'm not even going to skip it. It would be unfair for me to contribute to what I don't have in-depth knowledge about, even though there are things I want to say to that as well. But especially because I didn't listen for the most part to the first guest, because I wasn't expecting the first guest. It was towards the tail end I came in, so I tried to avoid things I don't know about. But in any case, there was I would say 99.9%. I agree with Dr. Ogbunwezeh. Is it Ogbunwezeh? Ogbunwezeh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know I did try when it comes to pronouncing.
You try.
So anyway, yeah, right. Something of course, when we're asking questions from him, we're trying to narrow it into pack as much into 2 minutes, which is difficult considering the wealth of knowledge he shares and what he knows, and a lot of very good questions as well. One of the things he mentioned that I always like to speak to was when the issue of China, for example, came up. And credit to what, in fact, is my uncle Alamifula, Izimifule right now, spoke to. It's a valid point that he makes when he talks about how he's more concerned about what's happening in his community, especially. I mean, for me, I just feel there's no right or wrongs when people want to focus on what they want to focus on. It's fair. For me, I like to look at things from the perspective of a more global factor, and then narrow it down to what happens in our individual communities. Because for me, I don't think we live in isolation, and like I said, I like to listen to people. I don't listen to respond. I listen because I just feel there's always things that is valid to take back. Now, with the Chinese, for example, that he spoke to, something I find very ironic, because, ignorance can be a very bad thing. I mean, at least for me. And I've learned a lot in the last couple of years to realize that it's always a good thing when you're able to like re-educate yourself. Like I often said, even when it comes to Mr. Trump, I don't like the guy. I don't necessarily like him, but there are things that he does, whether willingly or unwillingly or whatever, that validates what I've re-educated myself about. That you know what, he might not have made it intentionally, but you know what, the thing makes sense in the light of what and I know versus what we're told from way back when. So with respect to the Chinese I brought up and what Dr. Ogbunwezeh alluded to, I have people where I work. Of course, by now you probably know that I work in the IT space. When I speak to some Americans and with the kind of things I follow when it comes to that space and in respect to the Americans, I was glad that he made mention of, it took us back to history of how America developed as well technologically. I say this to say that, and I'm going to tie it to Nigeria, that again, we are not isolated. Even in trying to move forward, we're not going to reinvent a lot of wheels. We're going to build on top of what already exists. Because when I speak to those guys, a lot of my colleagues at work, and they tell me, oh, the Chinese are still, I'm like, first of all, do you even know the history of China? Because which is also where we're lucky, where we come from, for example. I mean, whether we like it or not, we probably may want to give kudos to the French or the British, depending on which we are colonial masters, whatever. If there was one thing that we got from them, it was to think global. The way at least from way back, from back then, so that by the time a lot of us moved to the West, especially America, I don't want to say too much about France and the rest of them. I'm not sure. I believe they still have what I'm about to holds true with respect to what we learned from them. You realize that you live in the US, for example, KJ, you realize that a lot of Americans know nothing about the world. It's just the way they're trained. And when the kids I've dealt with, my aunt that's a teacher here that deals with them here, sometimes the kind of thing she tells me, she feels like she wants to cry. Why am I bringing this up? When I hear things like, oh, the Chinese were stealing intellect, after all, it was just like, I think it was a view someone mentioned, it was America that helped China get to where it got to in a way, especially when Nixon went there in the 70s. And from then on, they started, they decided about financing a lot of corporations. And then you had the Chinese kids coming to America and the rest of the West. And of course, they were willing to learn. And you know the way the Chinese are. I compare them in a large part to the Igbos when it comes to resourcefulness as well. Not to say that, I mean, my people are resourceful as well, but I mean, I will agree, I will accept any day, anytime. It's obvious that Igbos are very resourceful. We can be very intellectual in our own rights too, the Yorubas as well. But that also follows for a lot of Africans when given the chance. And I mean, I work with Cameroonians, I work with Kenyans and what have you. Now, why am I again bringing this up? Is when you now bring it back to Nigeria, I see what's going on with them trying to, the curriculum that they're changing now, trying to introduce robotics and AI and cybersecurity. Not to say that we don't have the heads, but is the structure even there? Have we even taken care? Is it Nigeria that's not taking care of? You see where I'm coming from, why I'm going back to Nigeria, because as it is, whether Biafra or Dudua Republic or whatever, we are still together, whether we like it or not, at least as of now. So when I saw that thing, I was just laughing that, okay, fine, even if we're trying to develop in our own way as well. Is it Nigeria that doesn't have, that's not taking care of electricity, or that doesn't even know we're still fighting over? So that part really made me laugh. All right. In bringing this situation. But to have one extra line, KJ. Yes, go ahead. That again, with what okay, actually, what I was going to say was, with respect to Simon Ekpa. Again, I understand whoever wants to align with Simon Ekpa. I believe that there's better ways of dealing with things, not with you staying somewhere in Switzerland or where Finland rather, and then inciting people back in Nigeria. At least Nnamdi Kanu, whether you like it or not, from time to time he was present in Nigeria at some point, even if he had to flee for reasons that we all know. But you don't just stay somewhere and start inciting people and inciting people to destroy the economies of Igbo land. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay, there's two sides to a coin, and before I come to stay humble, but Simon Ekpa will treat as a topic, so let's not just jump into it. Stay humble.
Let me jump out now. I'll probably try to join back later.
Okay, all right, thank you. Yes, go ahead, stay humble.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I'm really happy to be here again. I listened to the guests, Franklyne Ogbunwezeh. I was thoroughly educated. Yeah, though I didn't agree 100%. What he said, especially when he said that the people that wrote the Bible did not see. Most of the people that authored the New Testament.
I left to research that. It's not totally true. About
Yeah, they don't see
four
because
of
I
the
think
Bible.
that was really, really. In fact, among them, I think it was only Paul the Apostle.
That didn't meet. Yes.
Yeah. So
the book of Revelation was totally written by John the Beloved, who is, who from the island of Patmos, who was one of the disciples of Christ.
Yeah.
So, and then three other books, 4 books were written by those who actually had the first encounter with Christ. What he probably meant was that they would not make a Bible. The collection was not done. Why, at that time, the collections putting them into a Bible was not done immediately, but eventually it was done. But those accounts were written by people who met with him. Remember, one of the reasons that I talked about is that Matthew was a very good. He was a physician, and he took very good account of what happened. That's why the book of Matthew.
No, it was Luke actually, not Matthew.
Sorry, Luke. Sorry, my brother. Thank you for the correction. Luke was a physician who took a good account of what happened in that period. So we cannot say that all the books didn't meet with him. All right. Sorry, just to put in that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Yeah, so he touched a number of things, really. And these topics are really controversial. They are topics that you could debate all day, all year round, and everybody will have very valid opinions, differing opinions, which they could prove from now till tomorrow. But there are fundamental issues. Let me talk about Simon Ekpa. Really, I think that Simon Ekpa wasn't going solo. I think Simon Ekpa had some finances, right? They sentenced him to prison for so and so and so for using arms. Does Simon Ekpa have an industry where he's manufacturing arms? You see the hypocrisy of this whole thing. No, but they are now very silent on who is funding and every other thing. The backers, both foreign and they're silent because they know, but maybe they cannot challenge those people. So he did terrorism. He massacred a lot of people, which was really, really sad. Anyway, in Southeast, the last time I was in Nigeria, I was in a place, and people started running. It was really sad. For someone that's been here and you've never had to run, it reminded me again of when Nigeria then, even as student, sometimes they say run, no, run, no, people will start running. And imagine what people that lived in the north even faced, where the severity of the crisis was really alarming. So I think they were silent on who was sponsoring him and every other thing. I think some people, because what happens is this: if there is something going on in the background, I think for Simon Ekpa, there are things going on in the background that we don't know. So if there is something going on, they may just sacrifice somebody. All right. And at the end of the day, they will compensate, they might even compensate the person hugely, so that the main issues will be scattered. That's what I think is going on. Something is brewing, which we don't know, which we must still unravel in future. Regarding the tradition, have weighed in the past. We had kingdoms and we had regional governments before the colonialists came. You understand? And even the Oyo Empire, I think it spanned beyond the present day Nigeria, because like Dr. Who mentioned, those boundaries are artificial, So parts of the so-called Benin Republic today, some of the parts of Benin Republic, we are all part of the Oyo Empire. Though there was Dahomey Empire, etc. So, but those people lost to the British colonialists. And after that, the traditional rulership, the monarchical system was more or less abolished. You understand? So what we have today are just political jobbers parading us who are extremely powerless or totally powerless. They don't have any powers. I think the only traditional setting that the British, still recognizes is the Sokoto Caliphate because of significance, they are sharing business with them, So otherwise, all the other ones are just existing to waste everybody's time and to waste everybody's resources. You understand? We are not running a monarchical system. You understand? We are running a state system. So I think what we don't do in Nigeria, and that will bring me to the JAMB issue, the education issue. Yeah, I will tie all of them together. What we don't do, and I think it's part of that horrible engineering and re-engineering, is that all the things we inherited, we just have carried them like precious stone. We don't look at them as, this thing, can we review this? You see, the last time I was on a forum, there was hosted by this lady, who is one of the everyday Nigerian journalists I don't respect. What's her name? She had been on Dr. Damage's show. You may know her. I don't want to mention her name. And we were talking about the jam situation. And what we were just discussing about were peripheral issues. Yeah, so I wanted to weigh in on the main issues, being that are they even supposed to be writing the questions that they ask in those exams? Are they still relevant? All the curriculum and are they still relevant? Because someone has mentioned robotics and AI. You've forgotten that all the topics you studied in agriculture, in your whole so-called physical and health education, where did you even get to put them into practice the way they were supposed to be taught? Because if you are doing physical and health education, it's not to sit in the classroom and they will bring out one boy who can copy notes very well and just stand there and copy notes and copy notes and copy. That's essentially Nigeria's education, even in the so-called top private, expensive schools where they pay a lot of money. It's the same thing, watery education, chaff. And that's why when you interact with people from the southern part of Africa, even from Ethiopia, you find them, more intellectual than your average Nigerian. If you've noticed that, I've experienced that, here in this country. So you see that everything is watery, just to fulfill our righteousness, to tick the boxes. These things are not reviewed the same way. Our sports system has collapsed, really. Yeah, so recently, this afternoon, when I was looking at the countries that have qualified for the FIFA World Cup, I saw Morocco. And this is a country that's really been on the path of progress for a long time. They host almost all the tournaments. They have very, very, they have excellent sporting facilities. And 20 years ago, where was Morocco compared to Nigeria? Today, we are in a group made up of Lesotho, Rwanda, Zimbabwe, countries that are not even footballing countries. And we are struggling. We are in fourth position when you have unknown quantities. So this is the level that Nigeria has fallen to. nobody reviews the education and sports curriculum. Nothing is being done. We just hold on to these things the same way they are. Nobody reviews everything. We just carry on and on and on and on. Just keep on recycling the same thing. So that I think those are part of the issues
I
in
agree with you.
Nigeria.
I agree with you. And so I'm coming to Oti. Mr. Oti, was Dr. Ogbunwezeh, was he able to answer that question? What is this? What is the safe part, the path to self-determination? What should have Nnamdi Kanu, Simon Ekpa, and was Ralph Wazirike? What is it that they are doing that are not doing it properly? And since they are not doing it properly, hold on, sir. Why has the intellectuals not come to show them the roadmap to doing it? As you are putting your finger on answering that question, here is your second question.
I need to write it down because actually,
okay, go ahead. We'll take it
there are two things Stay Humble said. I want to kind of
okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Before you ask me the questions,
Yes.
Okay. I mean, good questions you're asking. So sorry. Do you want me to address Stay Humble first before you ask my question?
Go ahead and talk. Answer. Stay humble.
Okay. Yes. Sorry. Stay humble. I mean, I don't know your kind of your approach, your attitude to the questions. Now, okay, the one about traditional rulers. Okay. Now, you just said something. I don't know whether you thought about it. But in other words, it kind of just waved it away. It doesn't, it doesn't really. It's a no issue because the British only recognizes the Sultanate and I don't know who else. So, I mean, if we're discussing a matter as serious as whether I like it or not, is a fact of our political life, social political life. Of course, I'm restricting my comment to the southeast. So we have all these, Igwes, okay? So they play a role. How well, that is open to debate, but they are there. They're part of the, the structure of our governance, political, social political life. So you think they don't count because they're not recognized by the British. So this is, I wanted to think about this, okay? Now, the other thing, the other issue about, what was the other thing you talked about, 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 of course, the Franklyne. You said, his comment or his views on Simon Ekpa. Now, your position is this, that Simon Ekpa is, his trial, his conviction. Again, we shouldn't. It should be disregarded because maybe the people his sponsors weren't also put on trial. I mean, I don't understand the logic. So Simon was the person on trial, and whether his intentions, as far as the criminal, charges are concerned, are not that relevant, and his backers. So the question is what he has done and what the evidence could show that he was responsible for inciting and providing funds or ammunition. However, he did it. It may not be important. The fact of the matter is that he played a role. He facilitated, these crimes. To my mind, that's enough. That should be enough. So, and you come in to kind of minimize it, belittle it. I mean, I don't understand the attitude. Anyway, it's just kind of a comment. Maybe when you have a chance again, you can, if you like, clarify your position. But I find the the views you've expressed on these topics quite disappointing and cavalier, to say the least. Now, KJ. So the question you were asking me, okay, about self-determination. Can I go and answer that? Okay.
Yeah,
so,
go ahead.
Frankly, did actually, because when I asked my question, I did make the observation that he had actually addressed the questions I had for him, and I was because my question was about the self-determination point, because it's something that I think is very important. He didn't answer it because, first of all, you have to realize that self-determination is a big topic. It's not something, we don't just have one way of a people self-determining. I made the comment that, remember, self-determination is like autonomy of any people, of any nation for that matter, because Igbo, we're a nation. What we call self-determination or autonomy does not equate to nation statehood. There are so many, for example, he gave the example of the Bayern, right? Munich, Bayern, southern Germany. Okay. Catalonia, right? Okay, is another. You can say. I remember, all this is kind of is relative.
Okay, yeah. So here is my question to you. I like where you have taken it to.
Okay.
So now I'll ask you from that where you have stopped. Now, Nnamdi Kanu is not in Nigeria, and Simon Ekpa is not also in Nigeria when we held the 2023 election, right? But the intellectuals and the pushers and movers of the Southeast were all in Nigeria when the election was held. And when the Igbos were stopped from voting in Lagos and other parts of the nation, did any of them rise up to speak on behalf of those people who are disenfranchised? Did anybody, did they even as much as say, okay, we don't want to speak, since we have the intellectual capacity and power, let us put lawyers together and take them to court, say this it should not be happening. Did that happen? That's one. Two. I'm coming. Hold on, sir. Hold on. When the NBA held their national conference, so just like 2 weeks ago in Enugu, they invited Julius Malema, who also was known as what? A terrorist in his country, South Africa. And he came to the NBA and was speaking, and they were clapping hands. Should we still celebrate the Igbo lawyers who are there, since they have not been able to clap hands for any of those people who are outside of the country talking about the injustices going on in Nigeria?
Okay. Okay. Those are valid questions. Okay. And you see, when I want you also to recognize that when you're asking these questions, it's like you also heard a mirror, to yourself or before you. Now, because all of us are one or the other implicated. And again, I asked Franklin. The question I asked him is this, so that it can also, if like it will, I can circle it back to the question you're asking. I asked him whether he's directly involved in any Igbo community association in Germany. Okay, do you know why I asked that question? And also, I don't know if you were here when I asked him too.
I was there.
Kind of as an extension, I said, what stops, or at least we Igbos in the diaspora? Because I'm not talking about what people, intellectuals. No, everybody. Okay, so we live in the diaspora. What are we doing now? This freedom, this self-determination, our people are so hungering after. Okay, what have we done? When are we going to, or can't we bring that gospel of freedom? Okay, by making the effort, collaborating. So that's a question. I asked that question, and it's again about this self-determination thing, because what role are we playing? We can play a very important role in that respect, okay? By organizing, okay? And what do you organize to do? To do politics. So it can't, that's the only way you see, it's all about organizing, knowing, people having a vision, knowing what you want, and coming together. We can do it. So now, then you're asking about the politicians, and well, we know that we have there's a failure of leadership, a gap in political leadership in Igbo land. There's no doubt about it. But we as people, ordinary people, you and I, we can't just be waiting for a savior or waiting for anybody, pointing a finger. What do we do? So each one of us, that's the way I look at it. To me, that is the politics of it. So I asked him directly. Personal involvement is not about intellectualizing. It's not about the theory now. What do? We have to all these meetings, community association meetings. It has to go beyond the cultural interest. We are celebrating our culture and that or that. Okay, that's important. But even on top of that, you can also think political. You can also act political. Okay. Now, for example, for me, I'm actually written kind of a piece on this.
All right.
For example, Biafra Remembrance Day, I consider it. I think it's something that should be much more important than any other kind of.
So that's what we're talking about. These are the things that frustrate those of us who are still.
No, but it's not
because
frustrating you. I mean, what does that?
When that was even initiated by the young men, the governors never pick it up.
No, but look, hold on. But I'm telling you, in Manchester, we do that. We do that. We celebrate it. Okay.
No, people shouldn't. Because you are saying that Ekpa shouldn't be complaining in Finland. So you should go to Nigeria and do the Biafra Remembrance Day. After all, that's why the war.
No. Excuse me. First of all, remember, you see, Biafra Remembrance Day. First of all, you have to understand what the purpose is. We're not having a protest. It's not a demonstration. Okay.
Okay.
We're having what is called a remembrance. If you understand what Remembrance Day, and so many things can come under that. But the idea is not to maybe start waving flag, all right, or kind of talking about. It's not about Biafra restoration. I wouldn't. So you have to be able to make a distinction there. You have to know really what. You get my point.
So, all right, I get your point. Let me go to my brother Ike. Ike may have something different from what you have already said. So Ike, what do you say? Is it also that the failure of Mazen Kanu, sorry, what's his name? Simon Ekpa, not being able to put his words, be able to talk properly, that caused the Igbo intellectuals not to be able to make noise about their people that were disenfranchised in Lagos and those beaten up in other nations and asked to go back to the southeast to go and vote. And those who they are bringing their buildings now down. You had the other market that just burned down or knocked down some few days ago. Is it also the fault of the agitation that is making these leaders not to even address the issue? Go to those states, go to Lagos and tell the governor of Lagos State, you got to stop this. What is holding the Igbo intellectuals who know how to be able to bring things to pass, not going there to talk about these things?
KJ, you know me from the beginning. When I joined this platform, you know what I stand concerning Samuel Ekpa. I'm one of those Igbo men who do not subscribe to what he does, but I have my respect. And I'm allegiance to Nnamdi Kanu, not Samuel Ekpa. I don't care what he does.
Yep.
So for me, because when we are talking about the issue of Samuel Ekpa and what his activities has done to the Southeast, you are far away. You're from Abia State. If people who are feeling the pain of what this man is doing is the people in Olu Senatorial Zone. Olu Zone. That's where the center of all this is going. And I have to tell you that my sister lost her business because of the issue of Samuel Ekpa. They are now living in Warri in Delta State. What I'm telling you that I am personally affected to the issue of Samuel Ekpa. And if you're talking about this issue of Samuel Ekpa, it is in Olu Zone. The people that live in where you come from in Abia State, KJ, they are seeing it, but it's not where the center of attraction and action is. It's Olu Senatorial Zone. So I don't believe that. I used to say it here every time. If you go to Olu Senatorial Zone right now, there is no more young men in the Olu Senatorial Zone. Because everybody has run away from the Olu Senatorial Zone. Because if they see you as a young man, most of the young men who are in the village doing their normal day business are seen as members of IPOB. People who go to who are farming and doing other business in the evening time, when they finish, they go their business, they take a shower, they go to the small restaurant and beer parlor that we have in the villages and town to enjoy their evening. That's where they come to take them and, tag them to be IPOB and whatever, So whenever they brought up this issue, and I believe I didn't even know that Mr. Opara is from Olu Zone. So, most of us who are from Olu Zone, we bear the brunt of what we're talking about. But that's not the reason why I don't like what Simon Ekpa is doing. That's why I tell you, I am obedient to Nnamdi Kanu because I believe in what he was doing and what he was saying. But immediately this young man was apprehended, Samuel Ekpa took over. I didn't know. If it wasn't Nnamdi Kanu that officially handed over this young man,
no,
particular position he was holding,
no.
But what happened? But every time you see Nnamdi Kanu from the prison, when he come out, he continued to say, "I never told anybody to kill any people." How do you continue to kill the same people you say you're protecting? So that makes me to believe that it wasn't from Nnamdi Kanu that this young man sprung up. Because if there was a leadership vacuum when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was picked up in Kenya, there should have been somebody who should be leading and speaking on behalf of the leader of the group. So the issue of the intellectuals and the politicians in this, let me take the issue of the intellectuals. Is it like Franklyne said here? Yeah, the problem is that if these intellectuals goes in a meeting where this young, vibrant young Igbo men who are seeking for this self-determination is having a meeting, and they speak that grammar, they will kick them away from that. They will kick them away from the meeting because they will tell you they are not here for grammar; they are here for action. So the opportunity to listen or to take idea from KJ on the way forward, or take idea from the way forward. That's why we have Igbo meeting everywhere. At the end of the day, when we have a topic, when we have an agenda that we are discussing, at the end of the day, if everybody contributed, if we are not reaching at a point, we go for a vote. And once the vote is taken, the majority takes the vote. It becomes a collective decision of everybody, whether you were against it or you are not against it, right? But sometimes KJ can bring an opinion into a particular meeting which the executive discussed before the general meeting. And on the general meeting, KJ brought another completely from different angle. And everybody will swear with what KJ said, and we take what KJ said, and we move on with what KJ said. It has never been that because the meeting of the executive meeting, it is what is going to take place. No, because we are a Republican, we are people with free mind. We allow people to make their opinion. So I think that one of the greatest problems between our young men who are making this and the so-called intellectual is communication gap. There is no relationship. There is no environment where they can allow the input of those so-called intellectuals to come into whatever they are trying to do. So maybe we might have another way to be able to achieve this, this goal, right? Because if you see the examples he gave, like the Catalonian people in Spain, they have been fighting to become their own. It has not stopped anything. You go to Barcelona, you wouldn't even know that there is something that is going on between the Spanish and the Catalonian people. You go to Canada with the Quebec people, right? He gave one example I should want everybody to understand. He gave an example of Southern Sudan. The Southern Sudan people were like what we're trying to do. But he said, yeah, why did they were able to achieve that? Because they were able to achieve that because they went to speak to the people that matters, where this case can be handled. And that's why at the end of the day, they were able to get their independence. So I think that this mindset of we, the Igbos, as being Republicans, I think sometimes it's hindering us to, to come together to bring out a common goal or a common front to be able to achieve something. Because at the end of the day, if KJ brings something that is very important, stay humble with him, my friend, go and sit down. You think it's only you that knows the thing. And Oti brings on that, my friend, go and sit down. You see, at the end of the day, go and sit down, we are looking at, I have money in my pocket. Because most of the time, those people who feel that they have money, they don't want those who doesn't have money to speak. Not knowing that most of the people who doesn't have the money, God has given them the brain to bring out a better idea why the money will be used to solve the problem. So I think that it is not late for us. And I'm very happy, KJ, you listened keenly to what to what Dr. Franklyne was saying. And why I said you listen keenly, because you're a man who always want to know the fact. And because of your profession, you continue to marry whatever you're doing based on your own investigation. And that will give you a new perspective and a new idea, the way you can bring out a new formation on how we can go about it. So like we are talking about here, all of us we have our own ideas on how we can do it, right? But if we decide, okay, let's all of us bring out our idea on how we think that we can move forward. Each and every one of us, we have something to contribute, right? It's not necessarily me, Dr. Franklyne alone knows what we are going to do. Each and every one of us, have something we can contribute. Because I'm from Olu, we suffered during the Biafran Civil War, and we are still suffering up to today, concerning the freedom of Ndibo. So I cannot run away from the reality and fact that most of my family members has run away from my town. Right? All the whole young men that are supposed to be, to be helping the community to develop, all of them are run away because if they see you, either they term you as a non-government or they say you are a member of IPOB, and who use politics with the Bubago and everything. And Imo State become unbearable, and Olu Senatorial Zone become a place that nobody will want to go back to go and see his family back home. Because even though you go to Nigeria, your family will warn you, don't come back to Imo, don't come back to Olu. You can stay in Lagos, you can stay in Port Harcourt, we can come there and see you. Don't never you try to come back to the village. So if you are living in an environment where it's like you are no more safe to go and see your people, what joy does he give me here? That if I go to Nigeria, if I want to go to my village, I have to sneak in the night, or have to use a systematic to get to my village to see my family and sneak away.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate your contribution. My only quarrel with the system, not you, is that things are done. These things that are done by others cannot be done by an Igbo person and get away with it. So should we continue to live like strangers in our own home also? That's the pertinent question that we all as Igbos have not been able to answer. It is easy for you to do something and get away, but it's also that same thing that is done cannot be done by somebody from the southeast and get away with it. That is the reason why even Peter Obi has been treading softly, because he knows that he cannot say what Dati Ahmed is saying. If he says it, they will not buy him his south. So how long shall we continue to tread very softly, since we also be the same nation? That's the question to you. Stay humble. Is it that we are now? Yes, it's to you. Because it beats me when people explain away the reason why we should be soft, we should use another system. But some people can stand up and beat their chest. When the northern youths got up and gave Igbos ultimatum, more than 5 times now they're giving us ultimatum to leave the north. No intellectual got up to say, okay, we'll do that. But if the Igbo youths got up tomorrow and give that same command to any set of people living in the southeast, you will see the same Igbo leaders who now condemn those people will get up and be the first people. You remember it was the 5 eastern governors that first outlawed IPOB. It wasn't the federal government. They gave that idea, led by that devil Omahi. So what I'm saying is, how come it is our own people who are constantly the one betraying the youths? Meanwhile, the northern elders will say to you, don't mind these people, they are young boys. The young boys, you shouldn't take them so seriously. We'll talk to our people. We'll talk to But in the southeast, no, they use the force of cohesion, the police, the army, the authority of state to deal with those people, even to the point that they are quiet out of the nation and nobody says anything. Nobody has ever got up and said, but you cannot prosecute Nnamdi Kanu because 28 young people okay, went to meet their heavenly Father on the day you say you went to go and dance a pattern dance in his house. Nobody has ever said that. But we are quick. We are very quick. In fact, the so-called Ohanese and them were able to come out to say they hail the judgment. In which place, my late father used to say something, that an elder can never, you see, can never go to the market square and say that his son is a thief. But you can come back to your village, to your community, to your house, to your obi, and tell your son, don't do this. Okay? But so now we have elders who can go to the market square and join hands to beat their own children and come back and still punish them. So where do we stand with the Igbo elders? Yes, yes, still humble.
Okay, yeah. So I will try to address.
Respond to KJ if you
try to incorporate the reservations the Oga Uti made about my earlier contributions. So if you, which I know you have done anyway, I believe that each and everyone here has a very, very good grasp of Igbo history and the Igbos in Nigeria. You know, the history of Igbos in Nigeria and Nigerian history, really. You know, but if we still continue in that self-awareness of what has happened and what is going on, and then if we're able to try and extrapolate and predict what will happen, you discover that the future might be bleak for the Igbos in the coming years, in the next couple of years. And the reason why that will happen is not particularly about the Igbos. You know, what's going on in Nigeria today, if you study critically, there are concerted efforts made, both, you know, from players and actors outside Nigeria and within Nigeria, to stoke a heavy ethnic conflict between the Igbos and the Yorubas. They want to take Nigeria to another civil war. You understand? And one of the reasons why they are doing that is, you know, due to the whole, you know, grand plan and grand plot to continue to loot the resources in Africa. And for them to continue doing it, they need to solidify the ethnicities, the nationalities who they think will pose the greatest threat to them, and try to, you know, put them under severe stress and try to decapitate, you know, any you know, their head, really. So that is what is happening, and unfortunately the Igbos are bearing the brunt. Part of that grand plot is to stop a certain P2B, and to stop him, the Igbos will be the punching bag. So a possibility would also be that at some point the Igbos will need to really defend themselves, because they might be surrounded and they may try to again attempt to exterminate the Igbos, and the Igbos may need to fight to the last man. So that's a possibility, because one of the problems we have, even this Frank guy that came today to speak, he kept on talking about intellectuals. That's the problem we have, because we have this problem that we think that particular sections of our society, that they are irrelevant, you know, that they are not major stakeholders. We keep on talking about, what's the definition of intellectual? Who are the intellectuals? Is it people that are professors? Is it people that have PhDs? Is it the professionals? Is it the doctors or the engineers or the lawyer? Who are the intellectuals? So this is a very, very loose term that they just bandy about. And you discover that the so-called people that, okay, now, would you say that a P2B is an intellectual? There are many people who've contributed immensely to the advancement of Igbo land, who those people who usually bandy the word intellectual may not count as intellectual, but they will have contributed far more than
KJ,
those so-called
can I
intellectuals
just interrupt
who
him a
do
bit?
not have single integrity. Because
KJ,
how could
can I
you
interrupt him?
Allow him to finish. I will call you so he can respond. Let him finish.
Before he carries on, because sometimes when somebody is saying something, it's good.
No, but that's why it's his time. Let him speak, please.
Yeah.
You can write down what you want to say. Go ahead.
So, they think that there are some people who are more important than others. So they grade those people as elite. Those people don't have any elite mentality because they're all criminals. Someone that is entrusted with keeping public funds and the person is stealing the funds meant to, be used to provide basic amenities to people for the people. How could you say that that person is elite? That is just a common criminal and a very, very low level person. And among them are the so-called people that these Franklyne Ogbunwezeh class as intellectuals. So let us even learn from these societies that we are in today, and stop relegating some people to the background and say, oh, these are intellectuals. Igbo land is not meant for so-called people, intellectuals. Everybody has a responsibility to defend the Igbo cause, not about intellectuals. Then you see that he mentioned that, that there are other ways, which I agree with him. There are a lot of ways to develop Igbo land. But he said, oh, the governors. But what probably he failed to understand is that Nigeria has not gained independence. He even mentioned it, that these administrators are just he said colonial auxiliaries, right? So they've not gained independence. All those your governors, down to the last state assembly member, they are all chosen by the colonialists. So you're saying, oh, that you will partner with the governors. The governors that are loyal to the Sultan, the House of Assembly members that are loyal to the people in Abuja or what? So how would you partner with them? Because they have been put there, the people that put them there to destroy the region. So they will not work with you to develop the region. As simple as that. So if that happens, then you need to find.
So KJ, can you stop this guy? This guy's spoken enough. It's just he has spoken enough. Don't allow.
But if you allow him to land, he will have landed by now.
You see, that's the problem we have, because the older generation, they think that their views,
yes, I remember the older generation, yes,
are more valid than these technical views that we have. These empirical, provable views that we have.
All right.
So what grounds do you have with what I'm saying? That these people we've not gained independence. That these people are just representing whoever put them there from Abuja or wherever. So you can't work with them. And when you cannot work
I want to go to bed now.
Please don't go. I want to give information to KJ, the moderator. Just an information.
You
KJ.
need to seek alternative ways.
Please, just an information.
Even if you want to go to bed or you're opposing, that will not stop me from contributing to the discourses here, because I have a lot to say. I've great God learned a lot. And
thank you.
I will not hesitate to pour them out.
Don't hesitate. Stay humble. We like your contribution. Wisdom doesn't come by age alone. All right. Sorry, before I come to
KJ.
Information. I just want to give KJ information.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
KJ, please, because I can't go to the chat. Somebody, Blessing Chukwuka, is asking, when do they have the Igbo section on this platform that Dr. CM and Okija used to hold? Can you send it on the chat, on the comment section, so that he will be able to know when they have the Igbo section?
Because I see Blessing is still around. It's normally held on Fridays, but Fridays from about 7 o'clock in the that's American time. they have not held for the past 2 weeks, but I'm sure that CM and the rest will be there. Since you have asked now, watch out for this Friday, it will be there. Okay, 7 o'clock, they'll be out here. All right, if there's going to be any change, we'll publish that on YouTube. Okay, thank you so much for that information. Oti, you have 1 minute.
Listen, the reason why I like to kind of, when people are talking, sometimes it's important to actually stop them. In the midst or as they're going on, because
I managed to,
if when I'm talking, I don't mind somebody actually interrupting me, and then it can actually offer a corrective, because you allow people to just kind of spew things or maybe make unsubstantiated claims, and then it's just out there in the public, right? Now, first of all, I don't know if he listened, if he listened to Dr. Franklin's presentation. I don't know at what point he joined, no, but there was never a time Dr. Franklin, he kind of foregrounded the role of intellectuals. Or maybe it said that they are more important than any other person, and this didn't talk about intellectuals. Come on, and I have actually said here now that this is the responsibility is ours, every one of us, ordinary Igbo man and woman. It's not for, we can't just leave it to anybody in particular. We have to be involved in this, in our own salvation. Okay, no Messiah is going to come down, and then he's just going on about intellectuals. They are doing this, doing that. I don't understand it, And then okay, the things he's saying again is it's unsubstantiated, because it's kind of speculative. This is not going to happen. How do you know that? There's no objectivity. If we were talking about discussing problems, we have to try and be objective. It's not just kind of making wide claims, or speculating. Are you with me? So that's not the way to really kind of make any kind of progress. Really, if we have to take this our discussion much more seriously, okay? Because you said so many things. I may have to maybe. I should have maybe written them down to kind of address them one by one, but it's just kind of the tenor of it. Is so speculative, and I don't see how helpful that is. Now, we're talking about the relationship between.
Now you are taking the time of another person, brother. Let the moderator continue. Oti, you didn't make any point there, bro.
Okay,
that guy was saying something very important.
What was it? What was he saying?
Just
tell me one thing important.
Very important. That guy was making.
Tell me now. I'm asking you. Tell me what.
You don't have to ask me. You have to listen to the guy.
Okay. All right. Revolution.
Tell me what important thing you got from what he was saying.
When it's my turn, I will tell you.
Go ahead. It's your turn. I'm done.
Hold on. Okay. Thank you so much. Yes, you can speak.
Don't want to go there.
Are you talking to us? Okay. All right. Okay. So far we have heard all that, and I want to thank all of you for what you have said. The other topic we may want to touch before we, is the topic, because you see, we are discussing this, and they don't come out of nowhere. Now, last week we were again. I'm still bringing this to your attention, Oti. Last week, a tweet went viral in Nigeria, and that tweet was about the Igbos. A particular lady who is a friend of Abike Dabiri had made a tweet where she called Igbos baboons and monkeys, whom they have been taught about in history. Abike Dabiri responded by tweeting with emoji of laughter, about 10 of them on the same straight line. And it became a controversial issue because people now picked it up, and a lot of people responded, including Yorubas. And they said a particular man, elderly man from London, responded to Abike Dabiri saying, "You keep trying to make this thing a nationality issue. Anybody who is bad is bad. It does not matter which language the person belongs to." Obi Ezekwesili reached out to her, saying, "You know what? You need to, repair the mess that is going on." And she said, "What mess?" Okay, what mess? In other words, what are you saying? Why should you even ask me to repair that? She went ahead to reinforce what the person said.
And what is the question?
The question now.
What is the question?
Yes, the question now is that now, since we're talking about people who do not know how to approach issues, this issue now has come, and intellectuals and have not responded to it yet. No, they are leaving it now for people who are on the street now to respond. These people are not responding properly.
Listen, okay, listen.
Brother, it's my turn now. It's my turn. It's not only you in this platform.
Revolution.
Okay, no, hold on.
Let me take my turn now. You can't just keep disturbing people.
Listen, can you just calm down?
I cannot calm down because you don't want people to talk and you don't want the moderator to talk too.
Because it's done. Let him speak. You speak also. Speak. Go ahead, Revolution. Go ahead.
Good evening, my brother KJ and everybody.
Good evening.
KJ, do you see the problem we have with these so-called people I call educated illiterates? Now you can start to see the meaning and why I bracket these people, some of them, into that bracket. Because all they believe is only what they know. They don't really care about other people. If you're not in their class, whatever you say, they will try to tell you you don't know what you're talking. As if we want to talk about this group who believe they are very educated, how many are they? How many Nigerians be doctor? How many Nigerians be professor? And since they have been controlling that Nigeria, if ordinary electricity they cannot give us with all what they've learned. They cannot even fight with that intellectualism and whatever high education they believe they got or they know it all. They cannot even talk to the leaders to give Nigeria common electricity. They can't do it. Because why? They are they've taken good care of themselves. They can buy their own generator, and that's the end of it. So when people like Simon Ekpa rises up, when people like Sores rises up and try to tell you people, say, okay, let us try to see whether if we fight these people physically or whatever, maybe they can understand. They will tell you, I love what they are doing, but their approach is wrong. How can you spill the blood of your brother who you claim to be helping without proof? So we have seen people who have come up at the media to tell us they were the people doing the killing. Asaridok is one of them. It's all around everywhere. They didn't see that. All they see is because Samuel Ekpa group, we are saying that this insult is getting too much. This our intellectuals telling us there are many ways to approach it. They are not doing nothing for the people. All they do is to take care of themselves. That's what the so-called intellectuals of Nigerians do. They get the best positions in everywhere. They have private cars. In fact, some of them, before you give them any job in that country, you will provide house for them. You will provide car for them. You will provide cook for them. You will provide everything for them. That is why they don't know what is happening. And when radical brothers say that enough is enough, we cannot keep looking at these people. Look at that brother they call, what's the brother who came, the so-called man who knows everything, Dr. whatever, Franklyne or whatever he's doing. He's living in Germany, living well. You understand? They have a class. If you watch the way he speaks, you will see that they are trained. They know they have this quality of English they think is the best. So that when they are talking, people go, they panic, say then go school. That's all. Now look at in tongue now. You go to say no go even speak Igbo again. When you see this group of people, they don't understand the reality on the ground. You understand? This brother that spoke before I came now, he was making a point, and another intellectual was trying to shut him off. He will not even respect that it was the man's turn to speak. All he wants is to shut that guy off from talking his own mind. This is the problem I have with them. They don't want any other view. If they see that your name, there's no doctor in front of your name or no professor in front of your name, and you are making something that is bothering you. That is why I love this program. It is called Have Your Say. And they do not tell you only the professor have their say. Or they say have your say no matter who you are. Have your own say. But it's a big thing for them. When somebody is having their own say, saying what is disturbing them, especially when the moderator have called them in to have their own time. You will see them, no, let me stop him. KJ, stop him. Don't let him talk. How many so-called doctors do we have in that Nigeria, for crying out loud? How many professors do we have there? If they say majority carries the vote, majority of Nigerians are not doctors. Majority of Nigerians are not professors. If we are suffering today, it is us who are suffering, not them. They have made up their way. Many of them ran away from Nigeria. They cannot even take the problem of Nigeria, like this Mr. Oti here. He's living somewhere in UK, living well. When Simon Ekpa tell the boys, if they don't want to give us what we want, let us try another means. They will fight against it. This is why I just say, let me call in to just say my own man. That's Franklyne of a guy. These are the people that are, because you know why, KJ? This is the type of voices most Nigerians like to hear. If they see somebody, if your name don't add doctor on it, they approve you straight. That, oh, now doctor, they talk, make we listen. Yeah, this is the problem we have. And when the normal people are talking, they won't listen because who be this one, who know him? That was why the last time I was telling you that the problem of Nigeria is not tribal problem. It is class system, class. That is what I personally feel that is the problem of Nigeria. It has nothing to do with where you come from at all. It's just that class. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your contribution. We appreciate your contribution. Yes, we are back in the trees. And my brother Oti and my brother Ike. All right. So now,
sorry, it's really a pity if we cannot have a serious discussion. It's not have your say is have your say. That's correct. No, but if there's what is called a serious discussion. I mean, I don't know. This idea kind of it be binding intellectual, and which is I think is senseless. Quite frankly, you know, as adults, people that are reasonable, that can reason, look at things objectively. If we cannot have a conversation, disagree on the facts, and then then really it's pointless maybe coming here and then trying to interact, because it's just a waste of one's time. Quite frankly, it's not about being intellectual or not being intellectual. I don't know why even when anybody should be making a point of it. Okay, now somebody came here, made a presentation, people asked him questions, and I've actually made the point that it's all our affairs. There's no distinction between, I mean, intellectual or non-intellectual. This, as an able person, as an ordinary man, ordinary woman, we have enough common sense to look at issues and then decide the best way to approach them. Okay. Now, KJ, you were asking about what's his name?
Dabri.
Dabri. Okay. Right. Now, so yes, you were posing that question. And I know where you are going with that. Now, you did also mention that somebody like Ogbunwezeh, okay, in her own way, as a private citizen, because she doesn't hold any kind of official position, and she doesn't represent the Igbos in any kind of official capacity, private citizen. And I understand also that Dr. Sam Amade had also kind of made a comment on that, okay? These are prominent Igbo personalities. I wouldn't say that, well, okay, you can even call them as Igbo leaders, but they've made comment. They've expressed their dismay, their disappointment, condemned such an attitude on the part of a public official, public servant, somebody serving. So now, I don't know what else you expect. Well, of course, I mean, yes, the Ohanaeze, as a body representing Igbos, could do something. I'm not sure they've done anything. Or any of the, political leaders, our governors, or Senate, those in the Senate. Okay, so that is because I've talked about it, and most of us understand it, express it, are aware of it. We're not ignorant of it, of the fact of a failure or lack of political leadership on the part of our Igbo leaders, right? those that have actually occupied elective offices, they are failing because they're not, they're not representing us well. So we know this fact. But then that is not a justification. There's no way it excuses or explains people indulging in reckless, meaningless, and senseless activity, like what this gentleman, Simon Ekpa, and his cohort are doing or imagine to be doing in the name of freedom fighting. It's pure stupidity. Anybody can see, and if anybody can see that, I can't help the person. Okay. And then I don't see why we should really, kind of indulge it or laugh at it or think it's a play. People have lost their lives. Okay. They have caused mayhem. Why do we trivialize it? Can't we see the seriousness of it? And it's just a blind islet. It's not taking us anywhere. And KJ, you don't seem to understand this. You think these people are, what kind of freedom fighting is this? What kind of stupidity? They're not going anywhere. They have only caused ruin. You can see that. And we have to correct people when they come up with this kind of nonsense. It's common knowledge, it's experience. Okay, it's not about being intellectual, not being intellectual. It's common sense. There are things we ought to understand as reasonable people who ought to understand how things will work in the world, right? So nobody is denying the fact that we find ourselves in a difficult situation, marginalized, yes. But how do we solve our problem? How do we go about it? Is it by self-harm, hurting yourself, destroying your community, your society, your economy? What kind of logic is that? And we laugh about this, and so we entertain people that come and make all kind of uneducated. I don't know, wide speculation, baseless. Come on, that's what I'm saying. If we're not serious about this, I might as well not be coming here wasting my time, quite frankly, because this is a serious. If we don't want to approach it with seriousness, come on.
So my question to you would be, you see, nobody who I'm coming, sir. Nobody who converts an idea that doesn't think his idea is most desirable. Now hold on. You see, the same way that you have put up an idea, you have put up your understanding. Other people also have the same way you condemned other people. For instance, I'll quote you back to what you just said now. You said you don't know why IJ Kwesile should even say what she said because maybe
that's not what I said.
You also have the same pedestal, the same stand, the same podium that you are standing. Is also the same podium, the big, the young, the small, the whatever is standing to speak. So when you now say the person, whatever, hold on, I'm coming. Whatever the person is saying is inconsequential, except the one that you are saying.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. You see, look, and we really have to kind of, from this idea, we really have to, be aware or that because we have freedom of expression. Okay, anybody can speak and talk. It doesn't give every opinion the equal weight. That's something that's logic. That's what is called logic. That's what is called experience. That's what is called knowledge. No, hold on. Excuse me. Look, if I don't know something, I don't express opinion on every subject. Are you with me? So
okay, I want to ask something. You see, Oti,
yes,
the little I know of Nigeria, and those who have worked in government will say the same thing. Nigeria has the best policies on paper. So how come these intellectuals and people who you are quoting so much, who know how to go about it, have not even been able to hold on, sir? Simple Orosinia's report that this government promised to bring to light when they started 2 years ago. These intellectuals that are sitting there, these people who know how to go about things, have not even been able to do that. So what makes you think that it is idea we're lacking? It's the idea we're lacking in Nigeria.
KJ, you have to understand what I'm saying, okay?
Okay, please make me understand it.
First of all, look, for example, with the specific case of which is a bigotry or even by an officer of look, I said Igbo persons, prominent, okay? Because they don't occupy, as far as I know, any elective or any other kind of any official role representing Igbos. No, but they are prominent Igbo son and daughter, expressed a view, a condemned, or even, okay, called on Igbo representative body or Haneze to take it up, right? Okay, which is the right thing for them to do. So, and are you insinuating that because of that such conduct on her part, now
you see, you are still going back to those places that I didn't want you to go. You just called now that we should tell Ohaneze. Who told Ohaneze to condemn Simon Ekpa's imprisonment?
Oh God.
Who called on Ohaneze? I'm asking a simple question. Who called Ohaneze to make inference into what is going on in Finland? Even Ohaneze.
What is the connection? Excuse me.
The connection is that you are saying
no. Excuse me. You're mixing up things. First of all, Ohaneze and an individual, okay? It's okay, look, it's calling Ohaneze to do something, okay? I mean, in other words, they have an opportunity, a duty to do something in this situation. So now the question is, and then now you're bringing in asking me who called Ohaneze to do something in a different set of circumstances. I don't know why you're bringing that in. These are two different situations. I don't really see why you're bringing it up in that case.
All right. Okay. Not a problem. Let's move on. Thank you. Mr. Ike, you want to say something before I go to the two guests we have? Welcome, Mr. Maska and Conscience. We'll get to you as soon as Mr. Ike finishes speaking.
What I want to say is that I just want us to know that each and every one of us is playing a part for a better Igbo land and a better country called Nigeria. Each and every one of us. The part we are playing might not be on a bigger space. The part we are playing, people might not recognize that. But I sincerely believe that each and every one of us is playing a part to see that we have a better Igbo land. And as we are saying here, and as the Eze from Nobi was saying today, even as me and you are speaking here, even though some of our people see that our properties are being destroyed in Lagos, some of our people who live in diaspora, they still go to Lagos to buy land. They still go to, what is they call that area that they always like to live? Banana Island, right? Some of them still go to Banana Island to buy land, even though with the happenings in Lagos, right? Some of us that live in diaspora, if they still want to buy houses, they want to go to buy a house in Lagos and live our Alibo, live the East, And some of us who are in diaspora will be crying that we want Alibo to develop. Some of us who had the opportunity to develop that Alibo, we still go to Lagos. Even every day we hear that the properties of Ndibo has been destroyed in Lagos. I give you an example, because anything I'm saying, I speak with fact. My senior brother has been living in a house in Lagos for more than 30 years. But last week I came back from vacation, right? The same day that I entered Bonet, the same day my senior brother called me that, do you know that the house that he had been living for more than 30 years was sold without letting him know? All he saw was they come to tell him, I'm giving you till 20th of September to leave the house. After 2 days, he called me back that last time I bring another paper, they brought another paper to put in the house that they were giving 7 days to leave the house. From 20 September to 7 days to leave the house. This is a house that he has lived almost all his life in Lagos, right? So, it's to tell you that most of us, are going through a lot, but most of us also are not helping to heal the wound that most of us are going through. Because if the so-called well-to-do financially businessmen and women of Igbo extraction could see what is going on with the properties they have in Lagos, more especially, Is it not enough time for them to begin to think about going home? The governor of Abia State, we have a very good conducive, environment for businesses in Abia right now, or in Enugu. I'm not talking about Imo State, where I come from, because that man is a devil. I don't know what is going on in Imo State, but I'm speaking about the two states in the southeast that I know that is viable for people who want to make an investment. Even as houses is being destroyed, some of us who have money to buy property are still buying property in Banana Island in Lagos, are still developing Lagos. What are we looking for? Because we are looking for quick gain. We want to build today and make money, get the money tomorrow. Nobody is preparing for long-term investment. We want to do business today and make the money tomorrow. And we are living in a world that the world doesn't exist like that anymore. Every business right now should be a long-term investment, knowing the condition, the conducive atmosphere that we find ourselves. So that's why I say that each and every one of us are contributing to see a better Igbo land than Nigeria. For example, Keja, I told you, it has been my routine since I became a man, since I've been traveling around the world. There is no place that I go that I don't go look for where Nigerians are. I told you the people that I found when I went to Mallorca for 2 weeks. I was in Belgium. I went to look for where Nigerians are in Belgium. And I went to Nigerian restaurant and I ate food like I was in Igbo land. Anywhere I travel in the world, I go to look for Nigerians. I am trying to build a better society because I know what united Nigeria and united Igbo front can do for every one of us. And it ended up that the hotel where me and my family was in Mallorca, we have 2 Nigerians that are working there, one Igbo man and one brother from Edo State. We became family. And they took me to where they have African restaurant where I met Senegalese, hundreds of Senegalese people. We ate together in a restaurant. We were like family. This is my life. This is the way I contribute to see a better Nigeria and a better society. I'm not... Anybody who discount intellectual is good. If I had the opportunity to go to school, I would have gone. So I don't have any problem with somebody who is an intellectual. It's not easy to acquire education, knowledge. It's not easy. The cost of university is not an easy thing. So anybody who has the opportunity and privilege to go, I doff my cap for you. And that's why I'm sacrificing everything I have that my children go to have the better education. And I have given it to them. And today I'm proud that even though I'm not a graduate, my children are. That's what I owe them. They are living their life right now. It's for them to contribute for a better society wherever they find themselves. So let us not fight ourselves about this issue of our freedom to self-determination. Each and every one of us is contributing. We know the problem we have. So let us remove the issue of intellectual. Everybody should be on the platform. Everybody should bring his opinion on the table. And the opinion of everyone is important. And that's why sometimes when we have a problem, they will tell you, in my town, let me tell you something. When we were growing up, even up to today, there is somebody in my town, before my mother passed away, may her soul rest in peace, that anything that I'm finding difficult, even as I am in this bonnet, I will seek his opinion. And he has never failed me with his opinion as an elderly man, because he has seen a lot. He helped me to survive in this life. So everybody's opinion is important for us to succeed as a people. I don't discount anybody's opinion or ideas. No, we need everybody. I was not an intellectual. I wasn't a graduate, but I was the president of Igbo community in Mali. I received Obasanjo in Mali. If you want the pictures, I'll show you. I have dined with this your former president of Olusegun Obasanjo, and we were the people who were sent to serve because we refused to receive Abacha when he came to Mali. What I did, I wasn't doing it for recognition. I never knew, but I know that what we did has touched a lot of life. The joy that I have today, that it is now that I look back and I saw that I was able to impact the life of a lot of Nigerians in Mali. It's not about education, it's about commitment, it's about sacrifice, it's about making yourself available. I am ready to make myself available anywhere, as long as we are talking about peace and love and harmony for everybody. So as indeed, because I'm just begging, let's somebody was saying, my brother the Evolution was saying, maybe Dr. Franklyne don't speak. He speaks Igbo too, even more better than you. He was almost speaking Igbo when we are having conversation here. Being an intellectual, a professor, what has never taken away his Igbo-ness from him. But he has his own opinion. I cannot say because he's an intellectual, he doesn't know what he's talking about. No.
Okay.
Sometimes we joke here when I say, you people read a lot of books. I don't read a lot of books. You people who read books, this is your conversation. I make it a joke. I laugh. It doesn't mean that I don't admire all of you who have time to read so many books. It's to acquire knowledge. We learn every day. I didn't go to university, but I'm a supervisor of a company having more than 70 people working under me. I didn't come from this part of the world. I did not go to school. It's commitment and dedication to work. And because I was ready to learn.
Yes, and because the society where you live consider work. They don't consider paper. They consider work, what you can do.
God bless you.
Can do. That is where we miss it, you know. In America, what runs America is a small individual companies. I've not seen any mention of a list like this, you know. No, individual companies, little everywhere, and they are all around. And people are working. People buy franchise and work in these places. This is the same thing we already know in Nigeria, but people will not allow it to prosper, or rather to evolve. And since it's not evolving, we keep starting and stopping. Everything starts and stops at every given time. We start, we stop. Under the administration come, we start, we stop. Under one come, we start, we stop. Under one come, we start, we stop. When shall we come to a place where we can say we have now totally made it? And that question we go to Masker.
Good evening, everybody. You will not make a good teacher, KJ. You will be surprising your students.
Why?
You should have alerted.
I'm sorry. Okay.
The next question.
No. I want to free Ike. I want to free Ike, and then But if I took you by surprise, you can start from where you stop and then move into what you want to say.
Your question, KJ.
Okay, I said, Ike raised a very important question. When shall we, and that's what I echoed, when shall we eventually say we have now learned and we are now developing? Other than people, if a new administration comes now, they will start, maybe this time they will change the color of the naira to red or blue or green, and we start all over again. We start signing new contracts, new light listings, new this, new that. When shall we have a developmental plan for our people? For the East, this is a developmental plan. For the Northeast, this is a developmental plan. For the Northwest, this is a developmental plan. For the South, this is a developmental plan. For the Southwest, when will we plan like any other nation going somewhere, other than trying to look at how to hold one side down, or how to not have a policy that will not help another side, a set of people? When shall we come to that point?
It's a question that is pregnant, and I think the triplet that is supposed to, that your question is supposed to.
And if you want me to even further give you an example, Nigeria is deficient in housing, but yet we are breaking down the houses of people. That is not that they are ramshackle houses, but they are well-developed estates. We are breaking them down, not minding that we don't even have sufficient houses. We are breaking estates down on daily basis. So why then do we want people to take us serious?
Okay, I would start by saying this, KJ. I think you're too biased in your perspective, and I would plead with you to, I think, take some steps back. Because the way you see things, it's too colored. Yes.
Okay.
I know that, okay, for instance, I know where you're going. You're saying that people are destroying Igbo people's houses.
Of course, that's the truth.
Yes.
If we say, is it bias?
No, what? No, it's
bias. Is it bias?
No, it's bias because...
No, now, is it a fact?
Yeah, but it's not simply houses. It's not only Igbo people's houses that are being destroyed in the country. But to think that, no, I'm serious. I live here in Abuja. Every day, FCT will go and demolish houses. Is it because there are Igbo people there? No. So I think that this is part of the problem we create ourselves. Okay? Because sometimes when you tell yourself something over and over, even you, when you started, you are doubting yourself. But after some time, you come to believe what you're saying. You know, I do acknowledge, I do agree that today the country is highly polarized. Okay, before, if you take Nigeria back, let's say 10 years ago, I don't think there is that animosity between the Yoruba man and the Igbo man. It was non-existent. If there's anybody that was vilified in this country, was the Fulani man or the Northerner. But today we're allowing this animosity to keep growing and growing and growing. It's true that there are some people who are stuck in this, but the disaster will be that we fall into it. I can give you many examples. I know when Boko Haram was at its prime, I could see their strategy. Their strategy, they would love the the Muslims and the Christians in this country to take up arms. Boko Haram will go and bomb a church. What they would have wanted is all the Christians in this country to decide that, okay, this thing is targeted at Christians. And then anywhere you see a Muslim, you kill a Muslim. Then tomorrow, all the Muslims will start killing Christians. They will be very happy about it. Okay? But see, that is not, I'm sure it's not the answer to your question. But I need to tell you the truth, KG, because I take you as a brother. I've been on this platform for a while now, even though the topic on the table, technically speaking, is an Igbo topic. But I kind of feel, look, these are my brothers. I should have a say in the conversation. You know, I mean, my philosophy to life is, look, even the white people that have colonized us and are still dominating us, the truth is that it's not every white man that is guilty of this. The majority of the white people are good people. I'm not going to put hatred of all the white people in my heart, but it's important that I should understand that, yes, generally, the leaders of the white people are constantly trying to subjugate my people. And in the same vein, I do acknowledge that the Igbo people have a genuine concern because, yes, they are the easy target today in this country. It's easy to pick on the Igbo people, or at least make them like a subject matter, you know. But I'm just telling you that you, as an Igbo man, KJ, you should be wiser than that also, because if you fall into that trap, technically speaking, you alienate yourself. That's what's going to happen. I have nothing, no zero iota of issue with an Igbo person. In fact, most interesting, I was even hoping to join earlier. I met somebody who, at a party last Sunday in Lagos, he said his name is Hamilton, and I hear somebody called him, I think Ikenga Nobi or Ikemba Nobi or something like that. Are you from Nobi? He said yes. I said, I used to join Rudolph's show. He said, yes, he knows Rudolph. And it's an Igbo man that is my very close friend. He's celebrating his wife's birthday. You know? So we shouldn't, no, I'm telling you that when we continue with the kind of prism, we see every single thing from within a tribal matrix, is also dangerous because we're also perpetrating the whole thing. I'm talking specifically about you now, KG. Like I said, it's not the answer to your, but I just needed to say that.
I think I have a right to respond to you, Masker. And I grew up in the north. I've lived all my life in the north, specifically Benue Plateau. And I have worked.
KG, let me answer. Can I answer your question? Respond.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Because it wasn't like that. That was not my response to your question. I just wanted to.
Yeah, because I wanted to let you know why it probably
go ahead.
see that.
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. We finish answering that talk. Go ahead.
Okay. So your question was where would we, or when
why shall we?
When shall we know that we are developing?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a simple question for me. Okay. Today, as it is, there are very significant indices of development. There's the simple one, which is the life expectancy. Okay. Today, an average Nigerian is expected not to live more than 53 years. Okay. So that puts, I don't know how old concern is, but I can beat my chest to say that you, KG, OT, myself, and Ike, we're all living over time. Even though one can take the fact that you guys are not in Nigeria, but it's the sad reality. So,
no, I will not accept that too. And the person who wrote that book, he didn't consult with God who made me. Me, I'm here to 120 years, Masker. So
no, I know. But see, because when you say we, you see, KJ, the question you ask is we, not me. When will you, KJ, feel your development?
You are saying that based on the national average.
Yeah, so if you have to take a national average, you can't go back to individualistic. I'm just saying that that's the national average life expectancy. What's the Gini in them? Okay. For me, development is when we begin to realize that we are not individual tribes, we are a people. That for me is the starting point of development, which will then answer this your question. When we stop destroying houses simply because we think is houses of people that do not belong to our tribe. Okay? When we stop targeting each other, that for me is the start of development. But the real index, of course, I'm just saying that there are simple index in terms of even the growth, GDP growth, per capita income today is how much? We are the lowest in Africa. The statistics are there where this country is. And when we start developing, it will show. It's like a speedometer. It's very obvious. It's very glaring for some of us that, that are living here. The day when I can stop and ask a policeman for directions, you know, the indices are, it will be evident for everybody to know that we're developing. It's going to be very evident, you know, very simple things. But that, I think, is a layman's answer, not to complicate issues. So you can respond, KG.
Okay, my brother Masker, thank you. I feel a bit concerned that you think that way, and I will leave that to maybe the concern who's going to speak after me now, because I am looking at what is on the ground. I did not go to ask Abike Dabiri to repost that Igbos are monkeys or baboon.
No. What I'm telling you, see now, okay, because the implication of jumping into that pit.
I'm coming. I'm going back to what you're commenting.
All I'm saying is that it's not everything. Abike, definitely, I've seen the posts, and there are many, and you can, let me give you another angle. This Aisha Yusuf, she's not an Igbo woman, is she?
No, she's not. There are many people who responded to her.
But she's done a video. She's done a video. So we should single out Abike Dabiri out. And not begin to alienate ourselves and say, oh, me now I'm an Igbo, so therefore it's more like the whole country is against me.
But Masker, why must he be every idiot in Nigeria talking about insulting Igbos and the government is not doing anything?
Even this one working with Tinubu, there's a special what or what. He spoke against Igbos again before. And every idiot in Nigeria, every prostitute in Nigeria, they want to help on Igbos because the government is not doing anything about it. Why must it be only Igbos? That's the problem. That's what we should be asking ourselves.
No. You see, look at the truth is that
Master, I want hold on. No, before you answer him, I want to say
no. It's you. I wanted to give you one additional example. I was living in Lagos.
Okay.
There was a time OPC was killing a lot of Hausa people. Maybe we've forgotten that. I was in Lagos. OPC was killing a lot of Hausa people. But that does not mean that, look, it was clear that these are the specific agenda of these people. And that time has passed. It's not like the Hausa man anything about the Yoruba anything fundamentally against the Hausa man. But if we continue if Hausa man decides to subsume himself into that pit, he will alienate himself.
I want to agree with your submission, but I also want to remind you that these things have gone on time without number. Every year, somebody must have to say something. I don't know, if we also take the same direction, that probably things will be the same way it is today. You see, if you think that I am being, a bit egotic, or I'm leaning towards tribe, that will be I will not run away from it, because like I said earlier, Chino Achebe says until lions learn how to tell their story, the victory will always be on the part of the hunter. So it's that's what is simply happening. We have laid back, refused to say anything, but now we have also decided to say we're going to skip.
Don't say anything. KJ, what
no,
I told you.
I'm coming now. I'm coming. I can give you examples year after year. And this one that Abike Dabri said is not going to be the last. Someone else is going to wake up tomorrow and say the same thing in a different way. And you see, my challenge is not that, she said what she said. My challenge is to Oti, who said these things. And my challenge is to, why, if the Ohaneze Ndibo can quickly, without being invited, respond to Simon Ekpa, who is far away, why did they not also choose, since they are now the fighters and the liberators of the Igbo people, why did they not also respond to this one that was said? Because that's the purpose of which they are called Ohaneze. In other words, the rich and the poor, Ohaneze. So if the Oha is being attacked, why won't the Eze speak?
Sorry. Okay, the answer to that question. The answer to that question.
Sorry, my brother Oti, please.
Sorry, no. He mentioned my name. Just
no. I'm not making a comment. I'm just want to say I am signing out. I'm still in the office. I'm trying to sign out from the office. I just want to say thank you for opportunity for us to be here today, and I wish everybody the best of the new week. God bless you.
Good night. Sorry, is it
bye?
And then yeah, okay, good question you're asking, but you see that question is I'm the wrong person to be asked that question. I did notice the failure of leadership, right? So I'm saying we have a problem, and then we all should be interested in finding a solution. It's not, trying to say, okay, look, I've not come to defend, I'm not a member of Ohanese, I'm not defending them. I said there's a failure of leadership, political leadership. So I recognize that challenge we have, right? And then posing that question to me, I don't see how that is helpful, right? And then again, what you fail to realize is what also Masker is hinting at. It's kind of, it's just maybe because unnecessary aggravation, right? It doesn't necessarily bring a solution. Now, because we have all these challenges, now the question becomes, does that warrant, does it make a sense to have more Simon Ekpas? In other words, this aggression or this self-harm, is that the solution to our problem? It can be. I would mean. So we really have to think about, how do we solve these problems? There are real problems, we recognize them, but the question really is, how do we solve them? I mean, and not make things worse. That is the only thing any sensible person should be concerned with. It's not. So in other words, if they're not doing a good job, how do we make them to do a better job of representing Igbo? Okay.
Thank you. You see, because we didn't even elect them, so we're not going to ever be able to make them do a good job. Just like we're not able to make the governors do a good job because we didn't put them there. They were put there by their, those who chose to put them there. So I won't say that. You see, when you press this issue, and as somebody who listens to almost every news in Nigeria, I have many come to my mind very quickly, and I don't want to dwell there because, like I said, the issue we're discussing today seems to be more of, have to do with the East, the Igbos. So we can't run away from these questions. But I will leave Concern to speak. Concern, you have heard what Masker said, and he said that I'm maybe probably too deep into the Igbo thing. So, and as my brother is advising me, I think if I was in Abuja, I would have gone to eat some fura and told Chinkafa the Mian Kuka in his house. But since I'm not there, you see now. So, what do you say? Do you think that we are discussing this thing and we should now leave it and just what's your own take on it, Mr. Oti?
I
said Mr. Oti. Sorry, not Oti. Mr. Consign. What's your concern? What's your concern in this issue? Can you tell us?
I don't want to dwell on what. I don't want to go into what Maska is saying and so on. I want to go into what happened today and your defense today. I'm so happy the way you gave your own opinion today about what's happening in Igbo land and all the rest. To that, Franklyne, honestly, I'm so impressed today with you. I'm so happy. Because you see, sometimes we just want to destroy ourselves when you come to public, thinking that we are the best, or thinking that when we are talking, we want to say as if we are not that we hate ourselves, but we are the best among others. That's the problem some Igbo people have. Mostly these people that believe they're intellectuals or non-intellectuals. I don't believe that somebody who went to school is more better than those who didn't go to school. I don't believe so in my own distant thinking, opinion. I don't believe that they're better. You see, when the man was talking, he wanted to blame everything on Igbos. Believing that, not knowing that Nigeria is not a country, it's not the same country. He was talking and then he said all this thing when the IPOB came up, when this IPOB is supposed to go into politics and so on and so forth. Forgetting that the politics that Obi went, Obi won, did they give to Obi? Obi won the election, did they give it to Obi? This IPOB that will go to East and so start their own thing there. Who? Even if they win, they will not even allow them to contest that election.
So you should take up arms, huh? You should take up arms.
Leave me to talk, please. Nobody, excuse me, Mr. Oti. Mr. Oti, wait. I didn't put my when you're talking. Nobody. You see, when IPOB started their agitation, they never took up arms. It was when the Buhari and the SS started killing them. That was when they took up arms. Everybody knows about that. Mr. Kedge is what I'm saying. Am I lying?
No.
I don't know why these people sometimes they believe that they are the best. They believe that they know much. IPOB never.
Of course, some people know more than you. Some people know more than me.
You don't know. You don't know more than. You don't even listen to news.
You have to accept that.
You don't even listen to news.
With you people.
No, you don't even listen to IPOB.
That's the problem most of us are suffering. Half education. You think you know more than somebody doesn't know more than you. Come on.
Excuse me, Mr. Oti. Did IPOB took up arms when they started this agitation? Or was they being killed by the military? No.
If you allow him to speak, you can always respond. If you allow him to speak, he can always respond.
You believe that whenever you come here, it makes sense. It don't make sense. If you look at it, it don't make sense at all. Honestly,
and you think you're making sense now?
It don't make sense.
Okay.
I'm telling you. I didn't say they have to take up arms. I'm telling you that when they started, they never took up arms.
No, that's not what you say.
Calm down, gentlemen. Now let me rephrase. And to Oscar Blackstone, I don't even delete any text. I have not deleted your text. I don't even know what your text is talking about before I will delete it. So please don't accuse me wrongly. I beg you. Yes, Oti, allow him to speak. The IPOB that we all used to listen to their broadcasts they've never, I repeat again, never had any wing that is armed. It is the autopilot people that have the things they created. I don't want to go into it because I'm not here to defend them or to present for them. I'm not one of those who follow Simon Ekpa, but I have respect for him. Yeah, that's simple. So what I'm simply saying is that there is no arm, there's no military arm of IPOB. What IPOB had is called ESN, Eastern Security Network, that was in the forest. And when Kano inaugurated, he said, if you see them in the city, know that they are not members of ESN. Until today, as we speak, they don't operate in the cities. They don't operate in the cities. They are all in the bush because they are supposed to protect the bush so that our mothers and our sisters can go to the farm and come back in peace. That's the work. And I can tell that much because if you want me, I can get you the list and play it for you. All right, Mr. Conscience, please conclude so that we can go to...
No, tell Mr. Don't interject me again, please. Let me finish what I want to say.
Please,
when he's
Mr.
talking, I don't interject him.
After you finish speaking, you will speak your own.
You see, so like I was saying, even if they go into politics, the government also will never allow them. They will not allow them. When IPOB started this agitation, it was Buhari that started funding these unknown gunmen with Asari Dokubo men to start bringing problems to the east. And then everything escalated when Hope Uzodinma, with the judiciary, roguishly took over Imo State. That was one thing go bad. But today nobody wants to talk about what happened. They're only blaming the people of East, they're blaming this and that. Honestly speaking, whenever what is that man, the man that was convicted now, all the time he was talking, I never listened to him. And I never a member of his group. And I never telling people to stay at home for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. That is not how to rule people. That's not how the best thing to do to people. I never supported what he was doing. And also, I, as a human being, I don't like shedding of blood. And that is why today, even in Nigeria, somebody called me Nigeria. I don't want to respond that I'm a Nigerian. Because the Nigeria we have today is not the Nigeria we know. Things have gone bad. Every day when you open up any station also, it's people that are being killed. A country does not run like that. And most of these killings, most of this terrorism are caused by the government. Even the problem in Imo State before, up till now, is caused by the politicians. Most of the problem were politicians and the government. That's the people who solve these problems. They use the local people, those doesn't have money, those that are not educated, to kill their fellow brothers. So that was what is going on. What's the problem of the place. And you know that the problem Igbo people have today, Igbos are like Israelites in the sense that Igbos, God gave them a good talent, being business-minded. No tribe in Nigeria are more business-minded like the Igbos. And that is why everybody is countering the Igbos. Everybody is trying to bring them down. Why Igbos? Let's go. They don't want us to go. Now, this one was talking about giving of Spain and Catalonia and Quebec. But you forget to say that in Canada, they have the addition of option of referendum. In Spain also the same thing. Even in Britain the same thing. But why is it hard for Nigeria to put that option in the constitution of Nigeria? Or say, okay, these people, since things are like this, let us have a referendum. If people want to go, go. If people don't want to go, you stay. But they don't want to do it. And you see, this is happening in the East. It's just the government want it to be happening so because they want to destabilize the East. If not, why not? They call the Boko Haram are killing people everywhere, mostly in the north. But they call Boko Haram. They give them amnesty. They give them all this and that. But why not one day call these people who are agitating in the East and say, brothers, we're all one country. Stop this, stop this. Okay, let us just see what you can do for all you people and so. But they don't want to do it. So the thing that is happening in Nigeria today is a calculated thing just to make the country not to work. And anybody who comes here telling me that the country will work, my brother, I believe that person, the brain is not okay. Because Nigeria, from the way I see Nigeria, honestly, Nigeria will not work. Is it the police that we have today? Is this election we're talking about? Well, look at the election now. APC is using the police to destroy the opposition. A police of a country that's supposed to work for the whole people of the country, the APC is using them to destroy the people. So where that judiciary is not okay? Not till you talk of today that judiciary is okay. The judiciary is working against the people. The police is working against the people. The military is working against the people. Every institution in Nigeria is working against the people. And the people are poor. The poor people have no right, they have no single right in Nigeria today. It's only by being by those cabal. Now we have cabal of the north, we have the cabal of the east, we have the cabal of the south, we have all these useless cabals. And why most of the Igbos are joining all these cabals is because some of them are having a contract with them. Some of them want to see where they can eat from. Even the resources of this country is coming from the east, mostly from the east, the eastern. And then you leave it for, you don't go for it. If you don't go for it, who takes it? The north and the west. So that is a problem. So for me, I don't think that the man coming to blame only the east, the Igbos is where the problem lies. The problem is that Nigeria is not meant to be one and it's not meant to grow. Because if it is meant to grow, the government knows what to do. Nigeria is not a bad country, but the cities of Nigeria is not bad. I see when Abacha came in, or even when Buhari came in first time, the country was not okay. But Buhari, they put up this war against indiscipline. So everybody calm down. Things was going normal. But when things escalated bad, when this nepotism and this came up again, injustice. And I believe that, from me, I believe that God is punishing Nigeria today because of this injustice in Nigeria. The injustice in Nigeria is so bad, so much, that even the people who have that resources, they're not even making use of that resources. How God can never be happy when what belongs to you, other people are using it and destroying you. God can never be happy. Nowhere in the world that God can be happy. Even in the Quran, even in the Bible, any paper, anything you bring, God can never be happy with you when what belongs to you, you are not getting it.
Consign, thank you. You know, I've heard what you said, and what you said is very apt for me. And you know, like I said, there are many things that we can actually say. These things and these things that this is that the reason why we who are in the media, who are able, have said to also speak about these things. Not necessarily because we support injustice and we want the Igbos to be better than any other tribe. What we are saying, the Igbo worldview, I keep saying on this channel, is that let the kite perch, let the eagle perch. In other words, live, let me also live. That is our worldview. We're not looking for one section of Nigeria to be better than the other ones. We're not looking for the north to be better than the south. We're not looking for the south to be better than the north. We're not looking for the east to be better than the middle belt. And we're not looking for the middle belt to be better than the north, the east. No, we are saying let everybody be on equal playing ground. Let us all develop together. Let us all move in one accord. That is where blessings. I'll give an example.
Can I ask you two questions, please?
I'm coming to you. If we utilize the opportunity we had after the war, by now Nigeria would have totally been far developed than what it is today. But we didn't use any of those. All that was thrown into the gutters. And today we are still tackling the same issues that rised up in 1960. Even before, after independence, we're still dealing with electricity, mundane things of life. You know. Anyway, that's my view. But Oti, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Right, okay. Now, first question. You listened to Franklyne. I don't know whether Concern listened to him throughout. Now, but are you also of the view that he came here, he blamed the Igbos for, I mean, that's the way he put it. He's just blaming the Igbos and all that. I don't even know how he got that. Okay, now Franklyne condemned people that are doing causing harm. Okay, to Igbos causing harm in Igbo land to fellow Igbos. Okay, that is not blaming Igbos, right? And another thing is the problems. Okay, the marginalization is not new. Everybody knows it. Even Mask here acknowledges it. So we know this problem, right? But it's one thing knowing something, is another knowing the best way, the way to solve it, right? So in the process of solving a problem, creating more problems doesn't make sense. Okay, and so concerned after listening to Franklyne, he came away that he's blaming the Igbos, or he doesn't blame someone else. I don't see. I don't understand how he came. How he come to that conclusion.
Miss Tochi, see, no, well, I was not here when it started.
Right.
I only came, if you know, I didn't know when KJ spoke.
Right.
Okay, but later I rewind my TV. Then I saw what KJ spoke. But you see, when you call a fire IPOB, say IPOB started this problem. What is IPOB? IPOB is almost Igbo. All the whole Igbo is IPOB. Even if you say not IPOB, let me finish. Sorry. You see, how long will this Igbos continue to suffer? Now he talk about the Eastern governors coming together, people outside contribute money to build railway. The railway that is going from Lagos to all those places, is it the people that contributed it? Since we are born, we have to contribute money in the East. Excuse me, we have to contribute money in the East.
No.
Airport, we contributed. Everything that we contributed. But nobody, everybody, all of us, everybody contribute. Igbos contribute. Even now we go to suffer this contribution.
Excuse me. KJ, yes, erase that point, okay?
Now, when did this suffering stop?
Hold on.
Oh my God!
You see, the problem does not finish in life, okay? And you can. I don't think God will give you God cannot give you a problem you cannot solve, right? So
problem of us building a railway. While others are using the resources of East to build their own railway.
Come down.
People are using the money from the East to build their own railway. But we the Igbos have to start afresh to contribute to build our own railway. Which kind of wickedness is this?
Excuse me. The question for
which kind of wickedness is this?
The question for you is now what do you do? Okay, what we have this problem. How do you solve it? Right? That's the question. It's not just.
Well, I don't understand. I don't get it. Let us. We in the East. We build schools.
Sorry,
we continue to build schools. We continue to build everything. We even if pass through, they don't accept our result. My brother, what kind of thing is this?
Hold on, listen, my friend. You have to be reasonable. The reasonable means, okay, it's not a catalog of your problems. Okay, how do you solve that problem? Can you be objective? Can you be logical? Okay, that is what is required. It's not being passionate. It's not being moaning, complaining. What is the sensible way to solve it? That's what
IPO became up. Nnamdi Kanu came up and they start talking how we can solve this problem. Buhari started killing them. Buhari and the Uzo started killing them. Now in Catalonia, in Canada, where the Canadians killing the Quebec people. In Spain, we are not killing the Spanish people.
Hold on, sorry, let me ask you. You've mentioned IPOB, right? So now, first of all, if not asked the generality of Igbos, okay, what they want. IPOB stands for referendum. I don't have anything against referendum. Okay, we can have it in the Nigerian constitution and then have a referendum. That's not a problem. Now, but again, it's an assumption on your part, presumption that if that referendum takes place, that people are going to vote one way or the other. Who told you? How do you know that? And by the way, let us go. Igbos go to where? How do you know the Igbos who want to go leave Nigeria? Leave it for whom? You have not answered that question. So that's the thing.
Okay,
that's the thing.
Excuse me, Mr. That's the problem I have with some of you.
You have a
That's
problem
with some of you. Let me tell you.
All right. I don't know who you're referring to.
Hold on.
I'm expressing my
Excuse me.
Let us hear Maska. Let us hear what Maska had to say.
Mr. KJ, just give me a minute, please. Just give me a minute. When let me tell you, in the whole Igbo, I don't think that all Igbos want to go. But I want to tell you today that in the majority of Igbos, 90% of Igbos want to leave the country. Because this margination, this hatred is too much. And whenever people say, where are we going? Where are we going? My brother, did you make it that in Nigeria, we and the Yoruba and the Hausas must be together? Is it we are born together that must be together? The people, the day Okonkwo was coming, Okonkwo was talking about business. Nigeria is a wide place to make business. If you know, be a place to make, my brother, when you have the talent, when you can produce whatever you can produce, you can sell also to other countries. Zambia is a landlocked country. What they call it, Tanzania is a landlocked country. Most of them, Congo is all of them are landlocked, but they're making fine. They're doing fine more than Nigeria. Namibia is a landlocked country. They're doing fine. Why can't you? How come your
Igbo brothers and sisters they are in the everywhere in the north, in the west of Nigeria? Why are they not?
No support to make. Let me tell you.
Really?
Excuse me. Even
those that don't need support for their business,
excuse me.
Because of support. Come on,
Excuse me. People, that you have Nigeria doesn't mean that what we having those support doesn't mean that you cannot progress. It's not that you cannot progress. Let us stop deceiving ourselves. We can still progress. We will.
Okay.
We will progress.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's been a robust debate, but here's what I would say. If you go to the Igbo land, some people like to say, go back to your place, go and develop your place. I don't see any Igbo land that is not developed. I don't see. I don't know any Igbo state capital that is not as developed much. If Lagos is more, just a bit. And I think that Enugu can stand both Lagos and Abuja, shoulder to shoulder, if not better. So when they say go back, it simply shows you that they've never been to Igbo land. I have let me not go into that. I just want you to know that Igbo land is developed, very well developed. We contribute. In fact, before I was born, my fathers had been contributing to the development of our community. And even now that I am, I'm more than 55, I still have, contribution going on in my community that they use in solving issues in my community. So when we say Igbos, they go back to your place, go back. We have our place is well developed. If you come to my place, there's in fact the streets in my place, it is what you call solar system that is there. So we don't even depend on the NEPA to get the light. Once it's evening, all the solar system will go on around the community. So our place is developed. It's not about developing the mind of the Igbo people. Our schools are community secondary schools and community primary schools, and they are well taken care of. We are simply saying, and that's what concern the concern is raising this evening. When shall we now say, okay, this is what the federal government has done in our community? Must we always be the one to contribute to build the railway again? We have contributed. You all forget that Owerri Airport was the first private airport that the people contributed through Zambakwe to build.
I contributed.
And now, hold on, Oti. Is there any other state in Nigeria that their airport was privately built by the people by contribution? Why must we? Hold on, Oti, you are saying now I will contribute until if God calls me home tomorrow, then my son will continue to contribute. Abi?
Okay. Now, let me ask you. Okay, so when you are here, remember I asked our guests about war reparations. Okay, sorry. In other words, that we are owed what we lost during the war, right? I asked about it. So you're asking me this question. First of all, listen. Because if the loss we incurred that was imposed on us because of that war, if we were to be paid, Nigeria won't finish paying it. Are you with me? So I asked about that, and then with what you're asking me compared to that is minuscule. It's small change. Are you with me? What it cost us to develop railway and all that is nothing compared to what we are owed, what we lost.
I agree.
Are you with me?
But we are not asking for reparation.
Listen.
We don't want reparation. We want from where we have now, where we are now, let us all settle at a level playing ground.
Oh yes,
let us deal with the issues the way they, because we are building a nation and not somebody's by somebody.
On this forum, on this platform, I have been consistent in arguing for restructuring. That is the only hope for Nigeria. Okay, and it's not as if I so much believe in Nigeria, but if we cannot restructure and have that autonomy, regional autonomy, at least all the nations that are in Nigeria, if they are not in a position to determine their destiny, I mean, then we shouldn't be together. This is my position.
Mr. Oti, do you know that? Let me tell you, before a country can move forward, before a country can move forward, there must be a little bit of love. A little bit of love. But in Nigeria is completely loveless.
Okay,
no single love, and that's why God is punishing Nigeria.
Hold on, conscience, hold on. We are 15 minutes to the end of this program, so I'll give each person 5 minutes to rant as you want, say what you want to say, and then say your goodbye at the end of your speaking. And I will start with Master. He has been patiently waiting for us to fight ourselves, and then now he's back. So, Master, what have you been able to make, and what's the way will you say will be best? Because we are looking for. Let me say this to you, Master, and I make bold to say it. The Igbos are not necessarily looking for how to leave Nigeria. It is because they are not seeing a way forward, and things are not lining up the way it should be, like a people building a nation. And that is the reason. I don't see any American who will say he's an American, and you go to a particular location and they will say you cannot do this or do that here because you are coming from California. It doesn't happen anywhere. So when shall we now begin to build a nation where anybody can go anywhere and be a citizen, a full citizen with rights in those locations?
It's tough being a Nigerian, honestly. Can you hear me, KJ?
Yes, very well, very clearly.
Because the way we fight ourselves, even imagine the way OT and concerns, you would think that they are the enemies, they are the problem. Meanwhile, the people creating all these problems are there, and they are dining and whining. But we don't even listen to each other. All this thing about Biafra and this last statement you're making, I'll make it bold to you also that it's not true. It's not true. Because if you open your eyes, the truth is that there's no part of Nigeria that is truly developing. So if one is very honest with himself, and you're truly a compassionate person, and not a selfish person, that you know only yourself and your problems, you will see that the plurality of Nigerians are suffering. It's not just Igbo people. In fact, the truth is that Igbo people are far better off in Nigeria as it is. Yes, I give it to them. It's by dint of their hard work. We'll come around the villages in the southwest that we are even talking about today, not to talk of the north I come from. The idea that, okay, we want self-determination because we don't see it. Okay, if the Igbo people are self-determined, they are okay with the fact that every other person, every other black person within the vicinity around them should continue to suffer. How logical is that? How logical is that? The truth is that the people who are putting us where we are not northerners, are not southwesterners, and there are a few. And it is this idea that, I am Igbo, I'm Hausa, I'm Fulani, I'm Yoruba, that will continue to put us where we are. I've said it boldly. The reality is that, look, there's no big deal. How does an Igbo man being a Nigerian help me? It doesn't. There's nothing that is taken away from me that Ghanaians are in Ghana. Nothing. But the reality is that what I really truly believe is that even if we want to go away safely and quietly, the thing that we must understand is that the people who are putting us into the current slavery that we are here in Nigeria, we must agree, all of us collectively, the downtrodden, to come together and put things in order. When the country is doing well, who cares? When in Europe, when UK wants to go, who cry? Everything is okay. If UK leaves Europe, Europe is not going to collapse. This is the path. This is the idea, not the selfish idea of, oh, okay, I'm the only one suffering. That's not true. Igbos are not the only people suffering in this country. They may want to deceive themselves into thinking like that, but the truth is that every average Nigerian is suffering. This is the truth. And our salvation does not lie on Fulani people saying, oh no, we want to have a Fulani state. Or the Yoruba saying that all these stories are stories that the same set of people are telling. When you go your separate way, these same people would continue to do the same thing. Unless the general people put things together. If we are okay, if Nigeria is okay, honestly, there's no issue with Igbo going their way, no issue with Southwest going its way. So this is my rant. I think that the Igbo people are marginalized. I honestly believe that, okay? But I also believe that every person in this country is because when you say, okay, so people are talking about railway. This railway that concerns is talking about, how many kilometers is the railway? It's only from Abuja to Kaduna. How does that, in fact, the common man does not even get access to this railway. The railway station, even me, from my house to the railway station is long distance. No hospitals, no schools. These are people who are no employment, all these things. So how is railway going to kill anybody or going to make anybody? These are not, this is what we tend to look at. We don't look at the corruption that is in the country that is pervasive everywhere. The truth is that the leadership in this country, there's equal proportion of Igbo people in the leadership. There's almost, you can say, a proportionate number of Igbo senators in the Senate that is doing what they like. So this is my rant. Honestly, I think as a people, we need to understand that, look, the problem is a general problem. Yes, there is marginalization. When you do pari passu, you say some people are bad, but some of these things, they keep changing. The same thing people were complaining when Buhari was the president, that everything is with the Northerners. Now the Northerners are crying, but it's what you call crying with crocodile tears, because we know that the truth is that it's not only the House, it's not only the North today that is shortchanged in terms of appointments. It's the same thing with the Igbo people. Almost every position is Yoruba.
All right.
Most likely. So I think that as Nigerians, we need to wisen up to that also. There are certain issues that are peculiar to certain places, like the security. I don't know about the East, but I think security is too much in the North. But I can't say that it's Igbo people that are causing that. I can go and start crying that, the country is abandoning the Northerners. The same thing with the people in Benue State. What are they going to say? That the whole country has come up against them?
All right, thank you so much for that. Yes, Mr. Oti, your time starts.
Well, I think I've been talking. I don't know what more to say, quite frankly, unless you have a question for me. I don't just.
You're rounding up.
That's why let's concern go. I'll listen. I
like that.
It's your signing out. If you don't have anything to sign out, you don't have anything.
Don't force him to talk. He said he has said everything he wants to say.
All right. No, because now somebody will start talking and he wants to start talking. He wants to start asking a question. I don't want that. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Oti. It's good having you. All right, Consign. You have your time starts now.
Yeah, Mr. KJ, thank you for the opportunity once more again. You see, everybody say Igbos are enjoying and this and that. But this is because of our hard work. But that hard work also, we are suffering it also in another way. Today, the money the Igbos are making are mostly from outside. And that outside, our children outside today, the kids who born outside today, most of them don't even know Igbo land. We are losing too much. But everybody thinks that is good. Some people, their children, when they die, their children are here in abroad. They don't even know where they're coming from. So the Igbo people are losing so much. Because why? Even in Nigeria today, Igbos don't have, they can't give them job. In the federal services, they can't give them job. Okay, now let's go to the issue of infrastructures and so on and so forth. In Kaduna alone, there was a day I was reading something. In Kaduna alone, more than 15 to 20 schools, universities, all this and that, built by government. But in Igbo land, almost all the whole schools are built by Igbo people. Now, it comes to railway. This thing that is given to others, why not give it to us? You came to seaport. Even the approval of that, having that seaport is a problem. Even at that airspace also, it's difficult to make Igbo the airport they build to make international. They do all these things to destabilize us, to make us not to grow. You see, so a country doesn't work like that. Now, in this insecurity, you see what Wike said the other time, and we know it. If any people who doesn't want to go that federal line or who want to go what they say, they put insecurity in their state, and that is what they put in the east, so that we cannot have a headway. You see, when we grow up, we never see such a level of massacre in the east. We never see that level of insecurity in the east. It's because of this present regime of this Buhari and the Tinubu. Even other regimes, you never see those things. This regime of terrorism, and now this terrorism started during the time of Goodluck Jonathan or Obasanjo, but now it's escalated when Buhari came in because of the hatred against Igbos. So now we become our enemy of ourselves. It's not giving anybody joy. If it's giving people joy, it's not giving me joy. Understand? And when people come out and they say we cannot go, I was not born with anybody. It's just not the God who said I was born with a Yoruba man, I was born with a Hausa man. If we win an election, they cannot give it to us. People that are supposed to rule us, they can't bring an idiot to come and rule us. You see, when we say, they said it's the people who voted for Uzodinjo, who voted for these useless people. Nobody voted for them. Now they make us to be hatred of ourselves. People who come and talk about talk about seaport or no seaport or landlocked or no landlocked. No country, even if you are landlocked, as long as you people work hard, you will still be where you want to be. As long as God has blessed you, God has blessed you. In today, I want to give you an example. When we came to Namibia newly, Namibia, the business was being held by the Germans, but today Igbos have taken over the business in Namibia. In Angola, Igbo started in a very rough way in Angola. The roads were so bad, they were suffering, they were not even giving paper, even they spent millions of dollars. But today, you know what? Because of the way the Angolan government see that these people are industrious, they have started giving the paper. They are taking over the Angolan business. In Gabon, in Congo, in everywhere. But why in Nigeria? These people that know this business, they don't give them that chance. They don't want to build seaport for them. They don't want them to have a headway so that the country can develop. They don't want that. Instead, they try to just subject the society that they continue to go down. The houses they build in Lagos, they're destroying it. The houses they build in Abuja, they're destroying it. How can we continue to suffer in this way? That's my problem. If we don't see all this, if everybody don't see all these things, you want me to continue like now? This woman, that prostitute, that idiot that came to talk. Why are most people coming to destroy only the Igbo name? Why can't somebody come and say even before the election, many of the pastors in Yoruba land, hey, how can I vote Igbo? The last time I can do to vote Igbo man, as if we are cursed, as if we're not part of the city. And when all these things are happening, the government cannot arrest those people. So that is what you have to be asking ourselves. Why? Because why they're doing these things? Let me tell you why they're doing this is because that is that hatred of a people. Igbos have business everywhere. If they talk, we destroy their business. That's the only why they're doing these things. Because if Igbos don't have business area, not business minded, I don't think any Hausa man can insult Igbos. I don't think any Yoruba man can insult Igbos. Because if they do, we fight with them. But they can't. They continue to do this because Igbos have business everywhere. If they talk, let's destroy their business. We will fight them. We are not even to fight us. Don't need to destroy our business. That's only their this thing. And why I don't have hope in Nigeria today. Let me be honest with you. Even in the Bible, even in the Quran, my brother, love and peace matters so much. When there's no love, things can never work. Even in a family. In Nigeria today, that love completely is dead. There's no single love in Nigeria. If any Hausa man tell that you love an Igbo man, or an Igbo people tell that you love Hausa people, or a Hausa people tell you that you love Igbo Yoruba people, that person is lying to you. So when these things are fed...
Concern, please. See, this is the way we talk. How can you say that statement?
I'm telling you the truth. Forget about what can you say. Forget all this love that people say they have each other. It's a fake love. It's a fake.
How can you talk for me?
I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you. If 10 people, excuse me, if 10% of Hausas love Igbos, does it mean that there's love? If 10% of Igbos love Yorubas, does it mean that there's love? There's no love, my brother. Let's not deceive ourselves.
Your statement, no, you are the one deceiving yourself, thinking that everybody.
There's no.
All right. Thank you.
Why must you get appointment? Igbo man cannot get appointment. If there is love, why must you they build more than 20 schools in Kaduna and there's no one in the build in the east? If there is love, why must my brother leave? If those things we don't do, I don't like to deceive myself.
Thank you so much.
I don't like to deceive myself.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I appreciate everybody's concern and contributions today. I dare to say that it's going to be a continuous discussion because this one we are having today will not end it. And there are many indices why we should keep being concerned about what is happening with the Igbo race in Nigeria. I understand where Maska is coming from because having grown up in the north, I know how some people in the north are not, they're not. It's not a bandwagon thing. Those who control the north know what they are doing. Not necessarily everybody who has a problem with the Igbos, and those who control the east know what they are doing. Not necessarily representing the Igbos per se. Those who control the west know what they are doing because they are doing it for their own. They're not necessarily speaking on behalf of the ordinary person in the street. That's the true situation of Nigeria. Now, if you go back into the Lagos activity, you wonder why you want to rename certain streets and move the names of other people who have been there. But you see, these things are political, and I keep saying it again, they are political, but at the end of the day, if it's not addressed by the authority, it begins to trickle down to the ordinary man in the street, and that's when it becomes bad. Today, Dr. Ogbunwezeh told us that this is how genocide starts. They vilify a particular set of people, they make fun of the people, and eventually, before you know it, it spins out of control. And then, so the earlier the Nigerian government addressed the situation, the better for every one of us. The question is, and I asked myself this, there was a time late General Buhari was having an interview with Zainab, one of those, Al Jazeera lady. And she said, would you like to see the video of what was done to the youths? And he said he doesn't even want to see it. The woman said, no, thank you, I don't even want to see it. And this is supposed to be subject of your country's citizens. And then they even went ahead to ask, won't you even hold a discussion with these youths that are agitating, knowing that they are younger people? He said, no, why should he have a discussion with them? What he's going to do is to speak to them in the language they understand, the language they use in speaking to their fathers. Now, these things are not just ordinarily speaking from a man in the street. It's speaking from people who owns political power and authority and who can do and undo. So the question will be, if you could speak to repentant Boko Haram, people you call repentant Boko Haram, who have sacked communities, who are still doing all kinds of things, who have been rehabilitated despite the fact that they've sacked certain people from their communities, and those people are still living in IDPs till today. You take the ones who have caused that mayhem, you give them uniform, you give them money, and you draft them into your society to live a normal life. Whilst those people who are still in the IDPs are still there suffering till tomorrow. What kind of justice is that? But you will not speak to indigenous people of Biafra or IPOB members. You will not even call them to have a one-on-one with them. So, okay, you know what? We are not even going to do what you have said. We are simply telling you people, do not protest any longer. Instead, what you do is you unleash your military and your police because you have authority of violence. Is that how any nation runs? The same nation where you treat one set of people differently, you treat another set of people differently. And I will not be one who will see these things and I will say, because I'm going to be termed as being tribal, I will not talk about it. That means that even for those people who I have fought for in the past, I shouldn't have done that. I speaking here, I went to Dogonahawa. I did the story of Dogonahawa when 500 people were died in that community. I did a documentary. I still have it here. I went to one of the cities. I'm forgetting the name now. It's not in my head right now. In Benue.
Plateau State.
No, not Plateau State. Now Benue, Agatu. Okay. I went to the place there. Where in fact at that visit I was there with David Mark and the rest, where they also had this kind of similar things where people. Well, we did that story. We published. These are not my communities. These are not places I come from. Okay, but I was concerned to go to those places, do documentary. Even though those documentaries we did cost me a lot of. I have gone to do documentaries with Bishop Kuka in Sokoto of what was going on in Sokoto and what the mayhem that was unleashed on people of Sokoto. I wasn't going there because I'm from that place, but I was going there because I wanted people to see, the world to know what is going on. Some of those jobs were not even paid for it. We did it as our own contribution to society. And so
I know you are doing your final submission, which is great, but because I was the one who primarily made some of the remarks I think you are alluding to. But the clarity I want you to have is that you, KJ, I have no single doubt in my mind that you're not a tribal person. You clearly are a detribalized Nigerian. Okay, all I said is that when we see things, there's a prism that can be dangerous. Because once we begin to interpret everything in this thing, I'm sure you are a follower of Chimamanda. It's the same thing, is single story. It also happens. It's two ways. It's a two-sided kind of coin. And I said it, when you see everything in the same prism, that in itself is dangerous.
Yes, I agree with you. But in this case,
what I'm saying is that sometimes this thing happen. They may look like it's a tribal thing, but when you really look at it, you will see that some people are just what they are. Okay, so that's all I said. But I'm not saying you are tribal, and I look, you shouldn't have apology for holding your views. I come to this show simply because I see the diversity of the views, and I believe that is where our progress lies, when we can all say what is deep inside our hearts. I just wanted that clarification.
I thank you, and I'm not even
the way you see things, not the way you say things. I'm worried for if you are seeing things only from one prism.
Okay, the danger of a single story. Invariably, I also have done something in that area. But here's the danger also. The danger of a single story that it can be told from one part of the other person, or on the other side, it can be told by the person B. In this case, we have always allowed the story to be told from the other side. In fact, if not because we now woke up, started telling the story, we were told that it was Igbos that declared war against Nigeria. It is now we have come to know that it is not so. Even though some of us knew that, but we couldn't put it out because nobody will accept that that is the situation. So now what we are saying this thing, and I understand where you're coming from, Masker. I'm simply saying that there is something, sometimes if we are building a nation, sometimes if we are 5 in a family and one person has a bad character, we don't drive away that person. We call the person, we teach the person, we talk with the person, we try to say, look at how your brother is doing, look at how your sister is doing. We don't hate you, but we want you to all unite and work in. And with simple persuasion, some of those people turn around. And so we are saying also, do to A as you will have done to B. And that's why I said earlier that the Igbo man's worldview is, you live, Masker, so that me too I'll live. Let everybody dwell in peace. We do not see where, if we don't try to stop anybody from dwelling in peace. And so today's part, which we are talking about, which we wanted the doctor to show us, is what is the right path to self-determination, not only for the Igbos, maybe for the Yorubas, maybe for the Middle Belt, who also seeking self-determination. Every group that wants to seek self-determination, what is the right path to go? That's what we are saying. That's one. Two, we're also saying, and that's after Simon Ekpa's conviction. Okay, and nobody here on this platform so far today have said, you know, part of violence is the path we want to choose. No, we are simply saying, in order to avoid violence, can we have dialogue with our citizens? Unless you don't see them as citizens. If you see them as citizens, then we should have dialogue with them. Boko Haram have operated in Nigeria for more than 15 years now, but they're still being accepted to be given soft landing. And I'm not saying that because of that we should, you know, listen, look, Master, you must understand where I'm coming from. I'll give you an example before I shut down this program. There was a man called Wan who stood against the plane, okay? Who stood against the plane. Despite being brought down from the plane, he refused to leave the plane. Eventually, whatever happened transpired. And the next day, he was what? He was forgiven. So we are saying that when people do things against the law, they should be, the law
it's
should
not that thing. See, this is the danger I see for you, KJ. Do you know that based on one issue, it's not because he's Yoruba. It's because he's connected to the power. There is a thing that a Yoruba man will do, ordinary Yoruba man will do. They will wipe the floor with him. Forget that he's Yoruba.
But Masker, I think you are the one.
Masker, if it was an Igbo man that did that,
hold on, Kansain. Masker, I think you are the one seeing it from a stained glass. I'm only using him as an example of how a law should apply to whoever. It doesn't matter. The law says that if this person does this thing, this should happen. If this person does this, so if he has gone to be a problem, if he has gone to be a problem with the airline, what is supposed to be applied should it doesn't matter whether it's from a high or low place. I don't care where it's from. The same thing that lady who eventually became a topic of discussion, if she have done something that is wrong, irrespective of where she comes from.
By the way, for the record, these are not the only two people, KJ, that did that. I hope you know that this.
I know that there's Enugu Air. Enugu Air.
No, not Enugu Air. What's his name now? This one that was the Labour leader. What's his name?
Adams Oshomole.
Adams Oshomole did exactly the same thing. In fact, he locked a whole terminal.
So that is what we are saying the same thing, Masker. I'm not looking at it from a tribal point. I'm saying, look, in the US here, there's no abeg. If you cannot do the term, don't do the crime. That's the simple logic. If you know that if you do something wrong, you cannot pay the price that's come from it, don't do it. If you do it, it doesn't matter who you are. You go in for it. It's as simple and short. There's no abeg inside. Who will you even see to beg? You won't even see the person. You will just do your house. The letter will come for your mail. You go to the court. So we are saying that if the system is done in such a way that everybody becomes responsible and the system takes care of it, doesn't matter whether you're his daughter or son or whoever you are, Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, whatever you are, if you break the law, you face the consequence. Simple.
Mr. KJ, let me say something. Please, let me say something.
No, don't say any other thing. We're closing.
Don't say anything.
No. I'll give Obi a chance to speak. Then we'll close. Please, don't say anything. I beg. It's enough. Obi, go ahead and just make your contribution. Yeah, we give you the last.
You know what I want to say is this.
No. No.
Let people talk. Honestly, let him say what he wants to say. Look, we should be open to each other. If you're worried about me, it's not an issue for me.
No, it's not about you. I'm worried of closing the program. You know, we have been here since 11 a.m. Okay,
2
go ahead.
minutes. Anybody?
Consign. Go ahead.
Mr. KJ, you see, what I want to say is this. When Goodluck Jonathan was ruling, this this thing now, what the central bank Sanusi, central bank governor that time, he made he said that 50 billion was missing. It's not true. Today Tinubu is ruling, and he put his boy there as a central bank governor. If, like, for example, see 50 billion is missing in central bank, can that man come out and say 50 billion is missing? So that's when somebody tell you that, like, the same thing apart will applicable to these things people are saying now. That man can never come out and say 50 billion is missing. So that is when somebody say Nigeria is not a country and Nigeria is not going forward. Don't doubt that person. Don't say otherwise. Because if Nigeria is a country, Tinubu coming in, bringing all his boys and all his people in the administration, people supposed to go against it. The people supposed to protest against it, but nobody can protest.
Protesting concern. People are going against it.
Where's the protest? In America now, here now, there's protest. But in Nigeria, there cannot be protest because the Fulanis, what the Hausas, what they have in mind is not the same thing with what Igbos have. The Yorubas doesn't want even protest to happen in anywhere. That Yoruba class doesn't want that thing to happen because they believe their brother is ruling. That's the problem we have. Understand? Right. That's the problem.
Let Obi speak so I can round up. Obi, go ahead. Obi. Who can't hear you?
Who's speaking? Me?
Not Oti. Obi.
You haven't brought him onto the show. You are tired.
Sorry.
I said you didn't put me here. You said I should speak. What am I going to say?
I'm so sorry. That means I'm tired. I'm so sorry.
Okay. I noticed that is the Igbo folks against Masabi. It's obvious that we forget that we've just come from a long way. The injuries are too much, Master. Most of these things you're saying that about talking about is coming out from a subconsciousness because of the damage that have been done this far. I'm a Benin man, and so the so-called big three tribes, we're not part of it. So we actually are the lowest in the hierarchy of injuries at that level. You know, you remember during the time of Buhari first 4 years, when the abracadabra happened in the Senate, that the man Kukwara won the Senate president. You see the way he was able to caution Buhari during the leadership. The House was working, Senate was working. They were reviewing issues. They were looking at the papers they brought in. They were scrutinizing it. But as soon as they removed him in the last 4 years, that was when the damages started. The high level of damages started because they started playing high class politics of my speaker is there, my president is there, my whatever is there, like what is happening now. So we keep missing it. I mean, tenure after tenure, and the damages keep widening every day. The eastern part of Nigeria cry. Nobody can look the other way that none of these things they're talking about is not true. I actually was sent from Lagos to Akwa Ibom. I drove past east so many times when I was going from Lagos to Akwa Ibom. I know how I passed those roads. I know how the eastern part. I married from the east. I married from Imo State in Osina. I went there, the village there, to go and marry. So the rate at which these people have been neglected, as in classified as the number, 1, 2, 3 biggest tribe in the country, is too much. When I mean too much, is too much. That the consciousness of an Igbo man speaking it is not his fault. It flows from within, because the injury, it just be like they say, make you know people, make you know cry. It's too much. When I mean it's too much before their face. If it's a Benin man, I don't know how they will survive it. They would have crashed the whole system. down since. Everybody could just die, come out.
It's true.
It's too much. They've been so cheated in every angle. And the idiots among them that are selfish, that are eating, that thinking that they are smart ones, that are in the power, that are deceiving themselves, thinking that they are only him and the children and the family will be well. That is exactly how selfish we are as Nigerians. Anyway, once we are able to make for our family and our grandchildren and our steal money, we think that is the end of the world. Not knowing that you don't need so much to be happy in life. You don't need so much money to be happy in life. It's just the black man deception that we keep living, and we keep living on it, and we keep making the people look like if you can't do nothing. That's the part of it. So, Masa, you see the way you blame KJ that is always narrowing every talk to the Igbo life. You must mention Igbo in the. You said it yesterday. I was certainly in the platform listening to you. You know, when you call him out, I say you blame him, despite he's trying to play a neutral ground, but that nature in us is in it. It's going to come out. Because the injury is too much. The injury is too much. And they are rubbing it before our face day in after day. And as you can't do nothing about it. It's very painful. You know, I took a trip to Europe last year. I did Spain, I did Italy, I did Switzerland, I did where did I go again? About 4 countries like that. These countries I passed them with train. Only Spain I flew from France to Spain. The rest of them I used the train. They were just like crossing from Onitsha to Benin, just like Benin to Akwara. That was how these countries are, and they're all doing well. And they're all living as if you don't even need to present passport to cross each country. It's just like they are states living in a country. That's the way they are. But everybody is running on their own. Everybody is good. Everybody is rich. Everybody is happy. Everybody developed. Everybody has everything going well with them. Small countries. Exactly what we're talking about here. We don't need to be that one thing we're talking about. We can be one. Use one currency. But let everybody go and develop itself.
Finish.
That's exactly what we're saying.
Finish.
Everybody going to develop themselves. I said from Italy to Switzerland, it's just an hour in train. That's it. And nobody asks you for passport. You just enter town, enter taxi, go sleep. From there, go the other one again. They are different countries because they call them Schengen. If you can't Schengen visa, go there. You don't need to present anything anywhere.
Nothing.
That is what we're talking about here. Until we do that, our systemic rot cannot let Nigeria develop, because if you mention police, there's a mess of them. You mention ordinary what you're talking about just now. When you talk of systemic thing, it's not working. No systemic thing is working. The corruption is too much. The damage is too much that everybody is looking for where they are going to benefit from. Everybody, everything. I just came back from Nigeria 2 months ago. It's the same thing everywhere. Go read the man where they get. Go read the man where they sell akara. The one where they said everybody just look for how you go treat him brother, how you go survive. You know, like you said, people in government is their hustle. But how long are we going to continue with this? Our children, we are the level of middle age, fifth floor, 4th floor, we've all missed it. And our kids are already missing this already. Then you see how much we have done, because the systemic thing is so bad that you can't believe a police or present a case to court. You believe that you see justice, or you will go and report the case to police or ask police questions. You'll be confident that it will give you answer, or you go to the hospitals, or you go to everything is perfectly not working.
Nothing.
And plus, I'm telling you the truth, you are in Nigeria now. Nothing is working that you will confident enough that if I go here, my wife gave birth in Nigeria. Do you know that to even born for Nigeria, if you not get money, they're not go on light for you where you born. You don't go on light.
Mr. B, you know the day I said Nigeria is a cost place. Last year, this election they made that day. You see the way the military, 5 military men were bringing people to come and take bribe to vote election.
Correct.
Where is in the world does that happen? Where in the world does that happen? Military men bringing young boys to take bribe to vote. Military men, not ordinary police. You didn't see it in I think, Kaduna or Kano. Military men bringing young boys on the line to take them to vote.
Consign. I just went to buy a vehicle part that I was shipping to Nigeria. I went to buy a part. This company is their junk is like a junk where they sell parts and all that. It's owned by the father. It's a small company. When I mean family company, now there somebody go work, he go fit buy house, he go drive new car, he go dey happy. Bros, I'm talking of buying junk car to scatter, begin sell the parts. A small business. Yes. Once they finish school, you see this one cousin, this one is his wife, this one is his nephew, the other one is his uncle, the other one is the dad. They own the business, and they've been there for 70 years. Yes. Yes. All of them have houses. I'm telling you, small business. When I mean small business. All of them people buy cars. All of them get house where they pay for mortgage. All of them are happy, married. Everybody looking good. On top of small parts where they sell for them, we only have more turnover in a year.
Obe, let me even shock you. When you go to their house, I have a friend like that. Their grandfather, great grandfather, their father, themselves now as children, and their wives.
They are running it
in one place, one big, and every evening they come to eat in one table. And
imagine.
Morning, they all go to their shop. They deal with Mercedes. Okay,
correct.
They all working for the Mercedes. Some are the painter, some are the mechanics, some are every bit. Their mothers and their sisters and their brothers all working there. And I asked him, how do you people survive here? He said, no, this has been here. Even their great grandfather was handling the business. He gave me the album to see. This thing has been going for 5 generations.
For like 5 generations, could you imagine?
And nobody is coming there to lock their shop to say you have not paid the government tax. Nobody ask them that because they do everything as it should be, and their business is. So what is it that we cannot? An Indian man once asked me, "What's the problem with you guys? You can't live together." Okay, we Indians, we go bring our brothers there. We all live in the same house. We divide what our wives don't take care of the children. Some are the ones going to drop the children in the school. Some are the ones doing the cleaning. Some are the ones going to work. At the end of the month, they all gather money and pay those people working in the house who are cleaning the house, taking care of the children. Nobody's quarreling. But you cannot get 2 Nigerians living together who are even relatives. They won't live there.
That's fine.
Mr. KJ, let me shock you. Mr. KJ, do you know that in Namibia, 3 years ago or 4 years ago, up to now, the Minister for Fisheries, the Minister for the Attorney General, and some people, they connived and did fraud. They did fraud, fishery fraud, understand? Do you know that up to today, those ministers are still in jail? No, they were not giving bail up to today. Nobody gave them bail up to today.
You do the time.
Nobody gave them bail up to today. But in Nigeria, can it happen?
That's Namibia here. Namibia here.
Namibia here. In Namibia, let me tell you, let me shock you again. In Namibia, Nigerian citizens now who are 60 years, who didn't work for government, they are these 60 years that they're giving them social security. They're giving them money every month.
Really?
They didn't work for government. I heard that today. They didn't work for government. But when he reaches 60 years now, government gives him money every month.
Like senior citizen.
Senior citizens. Understand? In Namibia, you can't call the police and it takes them 30 minutes to come to you. They must. Yeah. It's a must. They can't take bribe. In Namibia, you can't give a policeman, you can't carry drug and give a policeman bribe and they accept it.
That's my problem with this our level of our systemic rot. Let me paint a scenario. If Edo State, for example, was independent like in New York or like in California, like the way America is known as democracy, you know that there's no way this governor there will have won election without the federal might. You know that.
No way. No
you
way.
know that we know who we voted for. Even the time of Oshomole and Obasanjo's second coming, you knew how the other people stood for it. But this one, they came to muzzle power and use that thing called federal might. That is what we must cancel, what we must stop. That means we can actually select the best among us to lead us to begin to restore the system little by little. If you are a small compartment, this big thing you're talking about, will have been an advantage to us.
And their country can go forward. Their country can move forward.
We are not able to harness the advantages of being big as a nation. We are not able. Just look at the police IG now. He can't control the whole police of the federation. How is he going to do it? Eh? The small money we go say go give commissioner for state. That's when the money go trickle down. Before the money go reach hand, the money go talk cover. Eh?
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Revolution, we'll give you the last word and then we'll call it a day.
Yeah, before you saw I was laughing at that, my brother. We just finished the talk. Where the talk now? No, besides they laugh and say, "We see they talk, they wrong go." You understand me? But that is how you go see how Nigerians they behave. They go tell you the whole how everything go be for Nigeria. How can you allow that man rule Benin City? How this? They will come tell you the thing where we're supposed to do. They not say that thing where the way they talk. You know, say it's not possible. Oh. But they tell us, make we just they get hope. Say it go happen. Federal might. How do you stop the people from destroying that country? When you tell them, say, all this our take it easy, where would they do? Go to, like now, they are telling us to go and register to go and vote. Again, people like me, you go think say you can convince a man like me to go to vote in Nigeria again?
Nonsense.
I cannot vote again because the reason is the one we voted before. What happened?
Yeah.
Nonsense.
Do you understand what I'm telling you? That is the problem where you go see sometimes when they make submissions, some people don't like me, like this masker where they there. I never get the opportunity to interview him one-to-one, but I've listened to him enough. Like yesterday, they were having an argument. Some people were telling him that there must be a fight in Nigeria before Nigeria go do okay. He said no.
Stretch.
He can't talk, say Dubai. He was giving them some example. Say Dubai did it without problem, this and that. But all those things where they talk, how can you convince me? Nigerians are not, our problem is peculiar. If we not fight, this not beside they make mouth.
But not true now.
The thing will
make me the truth. I said the truth, my brother.
Yeah, the thing will make me leave Nigeria as a young boy. Be say, I know say if I did Nigeria by now, for don't die.
Of course.
Because I go carry my own gun too.
Yeah.
I not go leave some people. They enjoy Nigeria money. They live well. Me, I go come. They look them. I go tell the bad boys carry my own gun because they take na gun. They take hold us down for that country. Na gun. Now they take hold us that country. Nigeria where they see so. Without gun, all these big men no go fit spend 1 second in that Nigeria.
Correct.
Okay, thank you so much. On this channel, we don't advocate for violence, so we will go ahead.
I'm sorry, I withdraw those words, but I thought that we were talking about something serious.
Sometimes listen.
I'm sorry for that anyway.
Yeah, listen. We what we try to do is to preach the way forward in peace, and I don't think that there's any. Look, me speaking here. My wife is from Delta State. She's Ishekiri. She's not Igbo. Okay. My elder brother married from Delta State. I mean, married from Edo State. He married from Ishan. She's Ishan, my elder brother's wife. Okay. So you can see that if I decide to throw stone into Edo State, I may hit my in-law.
Excuse me, KJ.
Hold on. No, if I decide to throw it into Delta State, I may hit my in-law. Okay. If I decide to throw it in the north, I may hit my
tell us 20 years ago. How could you like 20 years
No,
ago?
so listen, what are we saying? We're not saying because of that impunity should continue. We're saying because of that, let's be able to force these people to come to a table where we can all discuss.
Thank you.
How many years are we going to force them? Are they listening to us?
Listen to what I'm saying. What I'm simply saying is that we will keep. You see, now we already know what the game is like. We saw it in 2023. So we are not going to be taken unawares again. What do we do now? Hold on, listen to what I'm saying. Like the man in America did. He knew what they used in defeating him. He went ahead to arrange how to defeat that system. And at the end of it, he's there. Whether you like it or not, he's there. He beat them on their own game. So what is the game? We must hold on, sir. Obi and his obedience must begin to develop foot soldiers who will be at the point where these decisions are made.
Is that how they do it in America?
Listen, now you see, we are using. You cannot take American system and apply in Nigeria. You use the Nigerian system to solve Nigerian problem. Okay. In America, if you are caught rigging, there's no beg. You are going to jail. There's nothing like somebody come and nobody will bring you out.
So now
okay? But in Nigeria, you can beg. So we are going to use that system that is there and defeat them. Each state, how many people do you need to develop? Let us start now. People who will be at the polling stations, people who follow the ballot, honest,
without
who will be selfless, not the people who will take, they'll offer them money, because I know that weakest policy is what money cannot do, more money will do it. So since
yourself.
So what you are dealing with people who know that if they offer you 1 million, you refuse, they may offer you 10. So you have to develop the mentality now, talking to the people. This is going to happen. When this happens, don't do this because it's for the future of your children. If we don't carry out that mass mobilization now of our people, of our soldiers, of our electoral officers who will carry out this thing, we will still find ourselves in the same position come 2027.
KJ, do you remember, say, last election, them beat some people black and blue because they were just talking, say, no be waiting, then calculate for polling booths. Now they tell us for election. Do you remember that? People waited as you they suggest so. We waited after voting.
You see, I like Dati Baba Ahmed so much. He's a very intelligent man. I started following Dati Baba Ahmed when he was first in the House of Rep. Okay, that's when I started following him and his politics. If you listen to what he said, and I've quote to you, he said, if you are 100, you go to demonstrate, they will shoot at you. If you are 500, you go to demonstrate, they will arrest you. But if you put
1 million,
who? They will begin call you to look for your leaders to try to negotiate. If you are 10 million, they will begin to run away. They will all escape from town.
They will run away, right?
Why not mobilize 10 million?
Do you know why they mobilize 10 million? Now, because of people like that, our brother, they come today. When they come, they go tell you, say, what these our agitators, they do, they right. But the way that they take do them, they wrong. Then they will tell you, say, make we take them easy. Now, that easy go make 1 million people no go ever fit come out one time.
Mr. KJ, who are the people going to protest? Is it Yoruba people? You think that Yoruba people are going to protest as their
No, don't say that.
Never protest.
KJ, he said something earlier.
Voted for Obi to win Lagos. So don't say that. Don't say that.
Masker and KJ, he said something earlier. I mean, the doctor.
Yoruba can never protest with you.
The doctor said that maybe what's his name? Nnamdi Kanu would have adopted the process of trying to find himself in the House of Rep or in the House of Senate to have propagated that message. Just imagine somebody like me, I did for Senate or House of Rep, and somebody like Oshomole is getting up to tell you that I saw one military somewhere, they are involved in carrying, stealing, whatever. I will ask him, okay, you were governor for 8 years. How come you have become a billionaire? Can you answer that question? So people like Nnamdi stand alone to challenge those people. The way the system will get rid of him. That's what the doctor knows. That's fine. The system is so bad that many of them that want to go there to go and talk. The moment they just incorporate to the system, you know if you talk again. That's the problem. Our system is so peculiar that you cannot stand like Malema in South Africa and begin to bring them down. You cannot. If nobody will get rid of you one way or the other.
That's many times Igbo senators stand up to talk, and now someone will shut them down.
Exactly.
Many times the Igbo people stand up to talk about Igbo people. The Yoruba people will shut them down. So how do you see? That man say they can.
That's why I said to him. I mean, Dr. Ogbunwezeh. I said to him, the great Ojukwu that was revered in Igbo land contested.
Yes.
And lost. In fact, he couldn't win Senate seat. Is it because the people didn't vote for him? No, because the system Totally about. They embarrass him, they embarrass him thoroughly, So what we are simply saying is this: the system is not built to work that way. So if you are going to wrestle with a pig, you don't go with a white shirt, okay? You go with khaki so that all of you will be in the mud, until you get what you want. So this one, it demands for people to be strategic. You already have a man like Dati Baba Ahmed, and Dati Baba Ahmed has a university. So at least he has some few students who he can quickly call to be on his side. Now, having said that, put that apart. You also have some good followers who are already in obedience.
Very obedient.
To check for the faithful ones, not everybody who is there, because some people are following for bread and butter.
Of course.
But those who are faithfully willing to lay down their life, then you mobilize those people and begin to work on them from now till 2027.
KJ, if Nigeria change through your method, I go dash you $2,000. I start with my papa way, but
it will change you. It will change because
that system where you talk change, I go dash you $2,000.
You know that even this election you're talking about, the election you're talking about, INEC already say Easterners. How many people registered? You see, now, even now you're talking about what you're talking about can never work in Nigeria. Because the people who are going to make this election is INEC. INEC is trying to...
And they already rigged it already. They already rigged the election.
What are you going to do? How many people are going to stand up with you? Well, but I want to tell you something. My brother, you see, this election, if it holds, many blood will flow. I'm telling you, with what I'm seeing, with what is going on, and I'm telling you, the Hausas are ready to take over this country. They are ready. Because they believe that for change. They are ready to take this country. This election is not going to be like the one they made before. I'm telling the truth. Yorubas are ready. Yorubas don't want to lose that post. They don't want to lose that position. Hausas also want to take it. So this election is not the one they did before last 2 years. No. It's going to be
all right. Having said that, I think we have to just round up because the discussion will continuously to go on. Like those days, we used to listen to one music. It says, and the beat goes on. The beat will continuously to go on. Yeah, so we enjoy having this thing. And for those who come to monitor us, we're not against any tribe. Neither we're against Nigeria existence.
No.
KJ, just a word for revolution. He's sounding as if he loves Nigeria more than me. Me, I'm here in Nigeria. All this one you are doing, you are shouting.
You be big man. You are a big man. Person where look you go, the way they talk and how you did. Now they enjoy that country. You don't need to run away.
It's okay.
You don't need to run. We run away now.
I run away person. I forgive you for
you don't need to run away. How many I will have where I don't see for outside?
How many? Thank you, my brother. How many don't see? They go with Nigeria money. They go with Nigeria money. They come back with Nigeria money.
Okay, thank you.
They go with Nigeria money. They come back with Nigeria money. Now we they suffer.
Thank you, guys.
Now make us run away now.
That's why they say Nigeria must be together. Nigeria must be together.
Listen.
They bully us out of the country. We were all bullied out.
We'll be together. We will be together. We lose suspense because they're enjoying it. They don't want to enjoy it. They go out with Nigeria money. They come back with Nigeria money. Others are suffering.
Okay, make I just finish with this matter. I just give me 1 minute.
All the Almajiri people on the street, they are all Igbo people. They are not outside people.
Forget about Almajiri from Chad and Niger. Those are from Chad and Niger.
It's all right.
Those are from Chad and Niger. I don't think Nigerians.
Guy, these people. All right.
KJ,
okay.
Let us talk the truth. Me, I be street boy. I never see one Hausa man for hustling field one day.
No, you can't. You can't see. I've been to Japan. I've been to Singapore. I've been to Malaysia. I lived there. I've been to Namibia. I've been to Botswana. I lived there. I never see Hausa man suffering. And in that area, struggling. They don't hustle. It's our money. They go with and come back with our money. I live with those things, man.
You know, see as in face they shine. You know, see as in face they shine. You be as good as Look his face well.
I'm not trying to defend Masca, but because he lives a good life. I mean, that's the only reason why you see him.
Now the people hold our money. Now the people hold
the good life is not necessarily.
Today, KJ, Yorubas are not talking about let's divide. They're not talking about let's divide. No, they're not talking about that.
KJ, you cannot have a peace of mind if you don't have money. Now me they tell you.
That's all now.
Okay. All right. I will say that. Thank you so much, every single one of you. You have
Thank you and good night, guy, bro.
Thank you. God bless. God bless. For bringing some, fresh perspective into this. Thank you, Masca. You've been so wonderful also. And somebody said in the comment section that you are standing among all the people from the south. So, yeah, that's it. You have a soft power.
They got the power. Yeah.
Well, today. Thank you so much for your contribution also. It makes it balanced, Yeah. Sometimes we'll listen to ourselves, we're probably not, not hearing every line. So sometimes when you listen across from the other side, you can, you can now be able to think well and, reason and see what you're not seeing from the other side. Your blind side, as you say, right?
Yeah.
Thank you also, Obe, for coming in. I mean, you brought a fresh perspective into it. And thank you.
Seriously. It's an honest person.
Thank you so much, Consign, for all your contribution. And I will say, on that faithful note, we want to thank every single one of you. Those, my uncle, Pansat, who have been asking me to remove Massa. Thank you so much for also being there. We thought you would have been able to take a place and come in and give us your own perspective, but you refused. So we hope that next time when we are here that you come in, we appreciate your contribution.
All right.
TA, Queen TA, and all the wonderful people who have been on this AY for real. Even though AY refused to give me any cup of tea, that is, and Oscar Blackstone. Oscar, I didn't remove any of your listening. I don't even have time to edit it, so I wouldn't have deleted it. I didn't delete it. But is that why you didn't buy us coffee? Please buy us coffee. It helps the platform to continue to exist. I thank every other person who has been here. I can't mention of Florence O. Thank you so much. Quinty A and Obi. Thank you. Marcus. Everyone. Those I can see their names now. Those I cannot see. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful having you all in this conversation. We will be here again next week with a different topic on this same issue. If God help us, maybe on Wednesday we will put together. We are trying to do a comprehensive story on what is going on in Finland and what options that Simon Ekpa has, and then we will put that story together. If we have the time, because sometimes we don't want to just bring a story. We want to be able to verify all the information we have before we bring it, so that people are not being led astray. Having said that, I thank you, Masca. I thank you, Obe, and God be with you all till we see you again. All right, that is the story for today. Like we said earlier, and the beat indeed continuously to go on. Every one of you who have been here, and those who didn't even sign in but who are listening to us and following Dr. Damages, religiously, we thank you for all your effort. It is not easy. I must say it again. We always appreciate you because you are sharing your time and your treasure with us. It is not easy. And so we appreciate you. You could have been on any other channel, but you chose to be here. And so we thank you, and we pray that the week that's coming ahead will truly be a blessing to you and your family. And until we see you, remember that the Igbo program, those who are Igbo speaking, will be here on Friday, being led by Dr. CM. And then on Saturday, Dr. Rudolph will be here, and on Sunday also. And until then, we say, have a good night, and God bless you.
1,911,844,833 naira and 46. I'll take that again. 1,911,000,000 1,844,000,000,000 1,911,000,000 This money is too much for me. 1 trillion. I hope that is not on the record. one.
When your mazolo bio, akwa mazolo bio, Max, if you bunye go kwanu mo no fube nazo olaga ni piazugo, ulaga do ni piazugo, akwa mwilo chiyo biko rapuzo, kona bazia. Onyo mazoro biko abamba wazara dasari ibya unyane gana mo ulaga doni biazigo mo ulaga doni biazigo abamba wilo chila biko rafu zoro